So you never know who's in the room. It hasn't officially started. Here, come here. I want to show off who's in the room. Here, come here, you two. So why are these, so you never know who's in the room. So who are these two people and what huge, responsibility do they have? As a colleague of theirs, can you explain who they are?
We are very happy to be here, by the way, John, and as part of the program as a mentor. Yes, so to my left, Mike Corbo, Mr. Mike Corbo. He is our CEO in the U.S. operations.
They don't know who our is. It could be lemonade stand.
Yes, true. I am Zafer Shahinoglu. I'm running the Innovation Center for Mitsubishi Electric. And with me here are Mike Corbo, our CEO for the U.S. operations, and Mr. Satoshi Takeda. He's our Chief Innovation Officer, Chief Information Officer, and Chief Digital Officer, global, yes.
Who has more responsibility?
Takeda-san, and I will give the microphone to him.
My name is Takeda, and I'm from Tokyo Mitsubishi Electric. It's very honored to be here, and I'm looking forward to hearing many new ideas.
Yeah, great. So who is not part of a $40 billion revenue company? Okay, these guys are. All right, here, sit down. So you never know who's in the room. So that's not official. I was just kind of weird bragging who's in the room. Who's excited to be here? All right. Notice the students are like, who's excited to present their team? Yep, see, who did not sleep last night? All right. So we're really excited to have you here. This is every semester a tradition. In December, this will happen again. Next May, this will happen in perpetuity. We want to showcase some of the best talent in the MIT ecosystem in the greater Boston area. Everyone's going to present for 3 minutes. Then there'll be, we have a number of judges and catalysts. If you're a judge or catalyst, please raise your hand. So we have some of the best in society that are going to evaluate you, and we're going to tabulate that and then kind of have 3 categories at the end of today of these teams. Professor Rasker, do you want to let everyone know, why you make this part of your identity and you lead this amazing class and why you think this is the best class in the region?
I need to think about that. Hello, everyone. I'm Ramesh Rasker, professor here at MIT Media Lab. My office is right here. So first of all, a very warm welcome. Today we have 24 teams presenting some amazing projects. And we're going to get started in a few minutes. But I just want to kind of set the backdrop. So once the official recording starts, we are moving very, very fast. So each team has 3 minutes and then 1 minute for Q&A. We have some amazing judges and catalysts sitting in the front row. It'll be very.
John Hawthorne just walked in, founder of Mass Challenge.
Welcome, John. Come on up. If somebody can get a couple of chairs for John. So there's billions of dollars of AUM in this room right now. It's a really exciting time for many of you. We do have a cooling off period, so don't treat this as a pitch competition where you can go immediately to the teams and say, how much are you raising? Let's make a deal. We have a cooling off period of 7 days. So make sure you don't treat this as an opportunity to, the most important factor for us is this is an academic exercise, but students are taking it very, very seriously. At the same time, we don't want you to be in a position where you're discouraging them from continuing their research at MIT. If on their own, they want to launch a venture out of the project from this class, that's great. So that's the intention behind it. In terms of how we are evaluating these projects and teams, there are 3 criteria. It's impact. How big is this idea? Is it going to make a giga-scale impact? Is it going to impact 1 billion people a little bit, or a small fraction of people a lot? The product of the 2 should be about 1 billion, right? And second is, how unique is it? Is it kind of a red ocean? A lot of people are already doing it. How unique is it? And the third one is how complete. The amazing thing about this course is that 3 years ago, when we did the course, remember, the course is only about 10 or 11 weeks. And the first 4 weeks are more kind of tutorials. So they only have about 6 weeks or so to build what they're showing you today. And 3 years ago, they would mostly show a slide deck and some early exploration. But now we expect all of them to have working demos, working feedback from customers and so on, because just the tools of creating AI solutions have become so much easier. So we're very, very proud of all the teams of how quickly, in a matter of a few weeks, they're ready to get going. And then John asked me about what's the vision of this. I think when I was in grad school, all we could do was write amazing papers, and we hope somebody will read it, and somebody will eventually build a product on it, and there'll be an impact. From there, about 10 years ago, I think it started getting easier, where you could have your PhD thesis, and you could kind of graduate or get your master's thesis, can graduate and build something on it. But I think today the time has shrunk, amazingly. I think in a matter of weeks, really talented students here at MIT and Harvard can go from a concept to something that's launched out there in the real world and have real impact, which is what a time we live in. Isn't it amazing? And we really want to inspire and be part of this ethos that it's not just about conceptualization, it's not about research, but it's about build. So that's why we call it an AI Venture Studio. It's not an entrepreneurship class. We don't teach accounting. We don't teach people how to choose fonts on your slides. We really co-create, and this is a studio, so it's a co-creation model. Think of like the Pixar studio. So we are very delighted you are here, and I think it's time to get started officially.
Yeah, great. Thank you, Ramesh. So just a few things to be aware of. There is standing room. These stairs, you could go up to the upper balcony. The labs, there are 40 labs at MIT Media Lab. You see through the glass. There's IP in those rooms. Please, no photos that way. But if people are walking in and you want to go up there, you can sit. It's a testament to how people are interested in this that we have so many people here today. So we're gonna start going. My name is John Werner. I'm going to be emceeing. I'm also an instructor in this class, and really proud of these students, and can't wait for you to meet them. The order that they're going to present in isn't worst to best or best to worst. It's totally random. They're all awesome, and all of you come at different vectors to what to do with AI. So some you may be more interested than others, and others may spark ideas. The presentations are from 10 to noon, and then from noon to 1, we're going to set up tables for you to meet all these groups. So as you're sitting here, you may want to take a note. I want to meet that team. I want to talk to them. Maybe I can help them with their product or their marketing or the policy landscape or investing. And as Ramesh said, there is a cooling off period. You can't invest today, you can't invest tomorrow, but in a few weeks, if you want to invest, we can help facilitate this. And this is a really important moment for these students. They're amazing. Ladies and gentlemen, the first group, what's that? You're gonna what? Okay. So before you hear the first group, Ramesh has some intro slides.
I'm back. All right, we're going to start officially now, so we can start recording. Hello, everyone. I'm Ramesh Raskar, professor here at MIT Media Lab. Welcome to the AI Venture Studio final pitches. We have 24 teams presenting today, and we'll have the pitches from 10 to noon, and then we'll have a showcase. I'm delighted to have some amazing folks from MIT and Harvard join me as co-instructors for this course. In addition to that, we have a lot of leaders who are CEOs, investors, who have really spent hours and hours helping our teams in this 12 weeks of this course. In addition to that, we have had amazing speakers, mentors, experts, and the course meets 10 to 12 on Thursdays, but we have sessions on weekends, on Sundays, and Wednesday evenings, and online webinars, and so on. So this is really a large community, more than a course. So I really want to thank all the folks from Sunday, from Mitsubishi Electric, from MIT, from Harvard, who have done this. And what is a studio course anyway? I mean, you have a lot of academic research and hackathons and curiosity that's bubbling up. And then somehow magically they're supposed to cross this chasm and create startups and incubators and nonprofits and corporate ventures. And the traditional formula is that you let teams come to us and pitch their problems and solutions, and we help them kind of nudge here and there, help them with their accounting plans, help them change the fonts on their slides and so on. But that's not what Studio is. Here we have a method called Spot Probe that I have refined over the last 10 or 15 years, where we go through this very rigorous process of creatively, collectively, thinking about what are the most amazing problems worth solving in 2025, and how do we probe them amazingly. So we'll give you the whole secret formula of this. We have a booklet. You can use that. The class is very popular. We had more than 250 applicants for about 60 seats in this class. So a lot of work goes in just going from 250 to 60 as well. So, again, I want to thank all the judges and catalysts who are here to mentor, guide, and judge these teams going today, right? And the goal here is to really see if these teams and projects are having a giga-scale impact. So over time, we have events, we have mentors, we have socials, and really want to thank all the teachers, all the mentors, all the experts here one more time. All right, just to repeat, for the judging today goes based on uniqueness, the demo, and the completeness. These are early stage explorations, so teams are not expected to discuss market size or quantitative business plans and so on. And the problem statement itself will be down to only about 20 or 30 seconds. So you have to kind of imagine what it is. They're not going to belabor the point of how important the problem is. They're going to focus on the demo and the completeness and the uniqueness of their solutions. With that, we're ready to go. Are you ready? Yeah. All right, I'm going to hand it over to John Werner, a serial entrepreneur and a good friend, to take us through this session.
Yep. I've been to India 12 times with Ramesh. I know Ramesh better than Ramesh knows Ramesh. And it's a real honor to be part of this class. Judges, if you also want a DeLorean and go back in time and join one of these teams, you can write that next to the team. That's a new category I just added. All right, for our first group, Shane, come on down. This is HammerDoc AI. These guys have been tenacious right from the start. Shane is a collegiate athlete. Because of COVID, he had an extra year. He matriculated to MIT as a grad student. He's playing on the lacrosse team, but I think his legacy is going to be building this team, and he wants to go the distance, and I would watch this team very closely. Ladies and gentlemen, our first team, go.
Good morning, everyone. Let me show you how DocuSign meets Jira under a hard hat. The construction market in the US alone in 2024 was valued at $2.2 trillion. We are building agentic AI for automating construction workflows, and we're starting with one of the most problematic and costly workflows, change orders, which have an estimated cost impact of up to 10% of a project's value. Let me tell you about our team. We're a group of friends from MIT. Half of us are from the same master's program. We have backgrounds in data science, consulting, all the way to venture capital. We're independent minds working together. From months of market research with some of the biggest players in the construction industry, the problem is clear. Change is the essence of construction. But when change orders happen, projects go on pause. And when a project stops moving, no one's making money. So why now, why us, and why agents? Change orders are a moving target. They're dynamic. They can affect the state of a project. They have multiple dependencies across multiple stakeholders. And now, with multi-agentic systems in play, this is the perfect time for this. You have agents that can communicate across each other and solve this dynamic problem by reacting and adapting in real time. Let me show you how it works.
This is Gabe, a construction manager who uses HammerDoc to manage changes in his company's office renovation project. Gabe requests a quote from an HVAC subcontractor for this change order that needs to be checked for compliance. He sends the request and heads to his daughter's softball game. HammerDoc takes it from there using a multi-agent system. HammerDoc listens for incoming requests and executes using a set of tools at its disposal in a workspace. The agent knows when the sub sends you the quote back. HammerDoc uses the change order workflow and comes up with a plan. It then scans through documents and finds discrepancies and flags compliance issues. Finally, we get a clean summary and next steps. Overall, via reasoning, agentic RAG, and dynamic communication, HammerDoc saves you time and keeps your project moving. When Gabe logs back in and views his project, he sees HammerDoc's breakdown and a brief on critical items, as well as the people in the project to reach out to. On confirmation, it executes the next step for Gabe. Hammer out your annoying change orders with HammerDoc.
So in the US, there are about 50,000 mid to large size general contractors. They spend about $200,000 on software and IT per year, with about 5 to 10% of that going to risk and compliance, which gives us about a $500 million wedge. Finally, this is our competitor landscape. There are some players in this space that do workflow orchestration, and some use AI-driven analysis, but we kind of sit at the intersection of these things. In our path forward, we'd like to improve agentic capabilities and continue building pilots with real players. Thank you so much, and please reach out if you have any questions or any further interest.
Let's see who has questions. You got 1 minute of questions. Go, stand up, go. Anyone else? Go, stand up. Google, stand up. Yeah, go.
How difficult do you think it will be to get the data? How much money do you think there's potential to barter for data?
Great question, thank you. So right now, we've actually been working with JBMB, which is a mechanical engineering consulting firm, as well as AECOM Tishman, to actually have access to one of their completed project folders to obtain that data. So we're leveraging our relationships there. But to your point, I do think it can be difficult, but we're doing okay so far.
All right, you don't know he works at Google unless you look at his shirt. Go.
Thanks for the demo. So what's your approach for user adoption and driving loyalty?
Sorry, what was the last part?
What's your approach for user adoption and driving loyalty, customer loyal base?
Another very good question. So I think really focusing on the people who don't have a Procore, who don't have a Kahua, these mid-sized general contractors, is how we can get the customer adoption. So for example, right, like working with JBB and AECOM.
Right, time. All right, so you guys exit that way. New team, come this way. All right, so PhD from MIT, from Columbia, not the university. From China, at Harvard. This is showing that these two schools can work together. This is Hugging Face and Google Cloud kind of had a baby. Let's hear what they have to say for biotech. Bust a move, go.
Hey everyone, we're from Algorithmic Lab. We're like Hugging Face meet Google Cloud for biotech, a no-code cloud-based platform offering AI model and scalable solutions. Meet our team. We're a team of 7, ranging from MIT PhD, specializing in AI in biotechnology, to biopharmaceuticals, to business leader from Harvard and MIT Salon. A traditional drug discovery process takes at least 15 years. However, AI now is accelerating and redefining the whole process, and we're focusing on the phase 1, development and discovery phase. AI model could reduce the drug discovery process and time by 30 to 50%, and lower the cost by 25 to 50%. However, using AI models at scale is extremely expensive, difficult to implement, and hard to use at scale. It also requires AI expertise to actually use it on a day-to-day basis. That's why we're offering our no-code, cloud-based, high-performance compute platform for using AI model at scales with advanced AI research assistant to solve all the problems above. As a starting point, we'll be offering our platform with open source AI model, but we have a capability and we'll be offering our proprietary models that are developed by our own research lab, as well as third-party license models. What sets it apart is not only our proprietary models that for better drug discovery process, but also our research AI assistant for model selection and usage guidance. The number of models is growing exponentially. How do you know which model to use and how to use them? We're also offering our GPU optimization for you to use the model at lower cost, higher speed.
For our demo, we're asking our advanced LLM reasoning model to help us design an antibody against COVID-19. Here, the LLM model has suggested that we use this advanced RF antibody platform. Here, the LLM is also available to answer any scientific questions that you have about the process or the scientific tool. Here, you can drop the target protein that you're designing against, which is the COVID protein, the spike protein in COVID-19. Here again, the LLM is available to answer any scientific questions about the process. Here you can nicely specify how many designs you would like. It nicely shows you the compute time on the GPUs, and you can go ahead and process your data. On the results page, you can also ask the LLM any scientific questions about the results, what they mean, how to use them. You can also visualize nicely the top design among your antibody designs against COVID, and you can also download the data and move forward with the results. Besides these, we have also developed our first AI algorithm in-house, and on a protein optimization problem, we have shown that this algorithm can converge 4 times faster to an optimal solution and also improve over 30% over a traditional search approach. Thank you so much, and if you want to learn more, we're in the table behind, and we'll be glad to talk to you after the talks.
Thank you, everyone.
All right, so who has questions? Judges, stand up. Davey, stand up. Any other questions? Bueller, that's an 80s movie. Someone else has to stand up. All right, stand up, stand up. All right, we got State Street. Okay, Davey, here.
Okay. That's cricket and rugby, sorry. Okay, as a potential user, how would I protect the underlying foundational IP behind all of it? There's legal issues that are going to arise in terms of drug discovery.
No, yeah, absolutely. Security to us is something that is one of our priorities. We're working with some of the state-of-the-art encryption technology so that all proprietary data can remain encrypted and private, and you don't have any issues with your IP being leaked and so on.
Okay, great.
Did you also look into quantum computing and how potentially that could play a role within your team?
Yeah, we do have in-house expertise in quantum computing algorithms that we have implemented some ourselves. At the moment, we're not looking into that, but there are amazing demonstrations using quantum algorithms in combination with artificial intelligence for drug development and drug discovery. So we're really interested. We don't have that at the moment planned, but in the future, we might have something like that.
Okay, great job. Exit stage that way. Go, 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 go. All right, our next group, Beatrice and her team. This is Garmin for Social Life. This is a team cuts across Harvard and MIT. Beatrice is from Brazil. We got China in the house and another Colombian, again, not the university. Okay, go.
So just like, where is the clicker? Yeah.
Guys.
So just like today, you can, it's not. I use that, yeah. So just like today, you can use your Garmin to see how you did in your run. You use Coral to see how you did in your conversations, your social interactions. We already use GPT to polish our messages and understand how we sound, but then in live conversations, we have no idea how we're coming across. We don't know how we're doing, and we would like to know. So our product is a mirror for our communication. We have a consumer technology that listens to your voice in your conversations, and it identifies communication behavior patterns to help us align our perception, how we come across with how we think we're doing, which is completely different. And our product right now is live, it's working, is a web application. You launch it when you're having your meeting. It listens to your voice, as I said, gives you some real-time metrics. And after the meeting, it gives you a feed of insights, identifying specific moments in the conversations when you had certain behaviors. For instance, if you tend to disclaim yourself too often, diminishing your own points, or if you're actually doing better than you thought, checking for understanding and asking a lot of questions. So it helps you see things that you didn't even know you did, and essentially be more who you would like to be. This is a quote by one of our users. Once you have it, you can't unhave it because it gives you a new sense of control that we didn't have. So we're starting with digital interactions, as I said, by showing you your patterns. Once you know what your patterns are, we can help you change the things you don't like, becoming a habit tracking solution. And finally, a true personal companion that helps you navigate relationships. I am Beatrice. I had a problem myself. I was the chief of staff and founding team member of a vertical SaaS for agriculture. And I had to talk to bankers and farmers and environmentalists in a day, and I wish I knew how I was coming across to them. So today, we already have the businesses that help us understand our physical selves. We have Oura rings and we have Whoop bands. We already have the businesses to understand our mental selves, Headspace, Calm, and Better Me. And I think we should have the businesses to help us understand our social selves. So this is a new category, And we're defining this space, and we would really like to talk to those of you who also believe this is something that's going to happen and that's inevitable. And we're curious about your questions. I think we can start.
Okay, so let's get questions. Stand up. We got 2 over there, 3. Okay, stand up. Stand up, Valerie.
Who are your current competitors, and how are you planning on differentiating yourself from them?
So I think that shows that we have companies with similar technology but different purpose, companies with similar purpose, different technologies. Alternatives today, honestly, is listen to your own audio recordings. That's super awkward and nobody does. Or you could place that in a place like of coaches or AI avatars that you can practice with, but it all takes time, and we want to give people a way of using the conversations they already have to improve seamlessly.
How do you incorporate the considerations of cultural differences, because you come from different backgrounds, and biases, and to be able to analyze that accordingly and not get negative feedback?
Perfect. So we're not saying how you should communicate. We're showing what you do. We're showing your patterns that you cannot realize, you cannot notice today. But whether that's something that you would like to continue doing or not, it's something that the user has to decide themselves.
So my question is actually pretty similar. How do you accommodate different contexts and audiences? Because a sales meeting is different than customer service, and certain personalities would prefer different types of communication as well.
So that's exactly what we're doing. So it shows you what you do, your behaviors, right? And then you decide what you want to change.
Okay, excellent. Exit. All right, Aya, come on down. So Aya's really clever. She went out and got an undergrad at MIT to co-found this effort. This is one of the best I've ever heard. Ladies and gentlemen, go.
Thank you. Hi, everyone. We're Aya, and just like Netscape opened up the web, we're building the interface that will unlock the next major computing shift, the Internet of Autonomous Agents. So the new web is emerging, but not for users, not for apps, for agents. Companies like Anthropic and Google are building their own agent communication protocols, such as MCP and A2A, because they see it too. This is the inflection point. This is the time to build the foundation of the next agentic internet. And yes, it's happening very fast. So the modern web we know today was built on 4 foundational layers: HTTP, DNS, browser, and search. Now the agentic web will need its own stack. We already have Nanda Protocol, an agent communication protocol developed here at MIT, Nanda Registry, which is a decentralized registry of autonomous agents. Now what's missing from this ecosystem is the agentic browser and search, which is a human interface layer for this new web. So this is how Aya works. Let's say a user wants to find car insurance and asks an agent to do so. Agent already knows from memory what car the user drives, accident history, other policies, location, and so on. So the agent goes and searches the Nanda registry for insurance agents, communicates, gets quotes, negotiates, and then presents the plan in our interface through which the user can review, select, and sign the policy. And this is not a niche idea. In fact, there are over 5 billion internet users today, and there will be trillions of agents in this new agentic web. And this, by 2030, we're looking at over 1 billion of autonomous actions happening every single day that will unlock over $4 trillion in economic value annually. But currently, there is no interface to capture this value in the new web. So our revenue model is simple. We monetize agent discovery. Specifically, agents can pay to boost their visibility in our search results, which is directly included in our rating algorithm. So I'm Maria. I've built a successful company before, and now I'm working here at the Nanda team to build the foundation of the next internet.
Hi, and I'm Christian. I'm an undergrad here. And last summer I worked at CERN, so I got to see where the old internet was built, and now I'm trying to build a new one. So here's a quick demo showcasing 2 different use cases. We're trying to find health insurance and a flight. We're trying to book a flight. So the dynamic UI in this case will generate a custom UI based on the MCP tool called, and then renders it completely using an agent, and that's that. So yeah, if you want to join us building the next future, just come find us.
All right, great. Let's get 2 questions. Stand up, Dave. Stand up. Anyone else? All right, Dave, you're going to ask 2 questions. Or no, you can ask a question. Go.
Yeah, brilliant idea, guys. Wasn't clear on the revenue model. You said we're going to monetize the search results, but you saw Google stock go down 8% yesterday because search is going away. You're just going to ask your agent. So how does that turn into a search revenue model?
Exactly. So we have an algorithm which is based on semantic search, and whenever an agent searches for agents, they're all rated, right, based on how similar they are, their reputation, and then we're just including this little number, which is a boost factor, in the formula. So basically, if your agent score is 10, and then you can pay a little bit, it may be like 10.1. So it's similar. How Google search works is completely different because it's not for humans, but for agents.
Great answer.
And how are you planning to scale the registry and therefore the services that you offer?
Right, so the Nanda registry is already there, and it's a neutral registry for all agents, and it's already hosted in multiple universities, so it's going to be the standard for the web. But we don't have to worry about that because we're building a browser.
Sure. Thank you.
Come on. Also, if 5 people want to help, I could use 5 people right over here, and I'll tell you why in a minute. So 5 people right there. And then if you don't want to stand, you can go up the stairs, and there's seating. You can sit up there. All right, our next team, you got a Googler, 6 years. You got MIT, you got Harvard. This is AI-powered research unlocking consumer insights from low resource settings. Let's see if they got the goods. Go.
All right, after talking to over 30 global leaders across UN, Gates Foundation, Gavi, WHO, do you know what the #1 challenge that they all face is? Data. That's correct. It's data collection and measurement. In fact, it's really hard to tell in real time if the interventions that we're deploying on the ground are actually impacting lives. Now, I've led behavioral insights teams at Google, at PwC, at IBM for over 11 years, and I'm bringing that innovative experience to help close this gap and advance human development. This industry has not been disrupted in over 50 years, and as a researcher myself, I can tell you that it is too costly, too slow, and the experiments and the research that we run are often limited. By the time we get the data, the context has changed, and sometimes it's too late. So at Human Truths, we're revolutionizing this entire process with AI. We can now deploy research studies in 24 hours at 1/15 of the cost, as well as scale to hundreds of people at once, and we can now, as a result, measure in real time if what we're doing is actually impacting the world. So how do we do this? You can now design a study with us, choose your target location, population, write your own research questions, or even use AI to actually write it for you based on your objectives. We will then deploy our AI voice agents through phone, through text messages, through WhatsApp, and even through partnered research panels. And for the hardest remote places to reach on the ground with low income, we still need human enumerators. So we will actually give them the advantage of having actual wearable pendants that will collect voice interactions. Let's see this happen live.
Hello, I'm calling from Harvard to research measles vaccinations. Do you have 5 minutes?
I can give you 10 seconds.
Okay, good enough. Have you received 2 doses of the measles vaccination?
Sì, ne ho ricevute 2.
Ok, perfetto. Grazie per il tuo tempo. Buona giornata.
As you can see, our voice agent is multilingual. It can span multiple contexts and different accents as well. From this transcript, we can take those conversations and turn them into actionable insights with data visualization and trends for decision makers. But it doesn't just stop there. Decision makers can feel overwhelmed by data dashboards as well. And so we have an AI co-scientist that will help us actually design the interventions based on development knowledge and the data that we've collected, closing the last mile for decision makers. This is a $140 billion market opportunity that we plan to tackle with a SaaS and white label licensing subscription model. Furthermore, our beachhead market is development because this is where the pain point is the highest, as well as where impact can be the highest. And we have a first mover advantage and a very strong network to help us scale. We have a dream team of technical folks from MIT and Harvard. Myself, I'm a behavioral scientist. Luigi is a medical doctor. Mike is a software engineer from MIT, and Connie is a data scientist from Harvard. And we have an incredible batch of advisors with us from Google, MIT, Harvard. Special thank you to Professor Ramesh and to Beth, as well as our partner, the Gates Foundation, Molly, who has been the inspiration for this venture. And with them, we're hoping to pilot in the next 6 months.
2 questions. Stand up. Stand up. Anyone else? All right, go.
How do you differentiate from the likes of Listen Labs?
Thank you so much for that question. So Listen Labs just raised 27 million. We've done a very strong competitive analysis with them. So we're differentiating in two ways. First, our beachhead market is where no one is actually playing in this space. They're focused on CPG, FBR, private markets. The second is our models. Our models, we're going to be running our own voice agents across African languages, different unique areas that most of the folks at Listen Labs or the bigger competitors in AI are not entering. And then the third is also our partnerships with human enumerators and having modalities in our platform so that anyone can plug in at any point.
So many use cases for this. It's unbelievable. You said your beachhead market is development. Can you just flesh that out one more sentence?
Yeah, so the global development market includes social impact causes, but it will also include things like governments, ministries of education, healthcare. So we're going to enter the social impact space because that's the part that we're most passionate about, but also where this pain point is the highest.
Okay, great. Thanks. All right. Maya is from Austria. Her colleague is from Italy. They're both financial data scientists at Gentic Dataset Brokers. Let's hear what they have to say. And this is our sixth team. Who's heard a team they wish they were back in school and on their team? Okay, let's see if that trend continues. Maya, go.
Hi, I'm Maya, and we are building DataQX, a digital data marketplace for biotech companies to sell their data sets, and we unlock immense value and accelerate breakthroughs. So our team is a unique blend of people from across the world with extensive knowledge in data, treatment, VC, financial markets, and so on. And right now, only 5% of all submitted trials at the FDA get approval in the end, which means that 90% of startups shut down their business after they don't get approval, and this is more than 100 billion of annual financial loss, and also significant time investment gets lost.
Hi, I'm Amos, and our solution is a multi-agentic system that will power a biotech data marketplace, and I will walk you through it with the demo. Okay, so the current MVP is the backend, which will serve us to manually broker transaction and ultimately will develop in a fully powered marketplace. The broker uploads the two datasets, uploads the context, and then he submits the evaluation as soon as he finishes the form. As soon as he submits the form, a valuation trigger arises. When you trigger the valuation, we have a multi-agentic system in place with 3 main agents. Now it's running. The first agent is the comparables agent. He basically searches through existing marketplace listings and past transactions, computes similarity, and outputs a baseline valuation range. This baseline valuation range will be updated by 2 more agents. The first one is the market condition agents, which calculates general demand for the data based on context, and the second one is the evaluation agents, which through federated learning calculates how much the model of the buyer will be improved by the seller's data. Now, it should be running. I can't skip the video. As soon as it finishes, it outputs, like the output shows the basic computation of the agent and the breakthrough through all the different components of the agentic system. And okay, yeah, here you see the estimated value, the breakdown of the agentic system, and then the reasoning of the 3 different agents. So as of right now, we're iterating our MVP and trying to find a customer to develop the product with. We want to expand in the biotech industry and then horizontally in other industries to ultimately build a public data exchange and become the NASDAQ for data. Thank you.
All right, let's get 2 questions. Beth, Gay, and State Street. Here, Beth. Beth, you went to Cornell. Sorry, that was exciting.
That was very exciting. Hi. I didn't get injured. What kind of customer do you think would be ideal for you in terms of who, what is the data customer match, right? You have data, where does that come from, what kind, and who's the match for that data? Why would they buy it here? Why would they not collect it themselves? Why would they not do a private partnership?
Yeah, thanks a lot for the question. So we talked a lot with a big pharma companies such as Pfizer, and they have a lot of demand for clinical trial data, especially those failed, because there is a lot of value in repurposing data. So their main goal it would be to find people that were not successful with phase 2 or phase 3 trials, buy their data, and try to repurpose them for current drug in their pipelines.
Who are your competitors?
So as of now, our main competitors would be existing data marketplaces for Datavant, IQVIA, but there is no one that is offering a tailored service of like a brokerage service for these data sets. There are just like marketplace platforms, and our current starting point would be to offer tailored services and like actually broker each transaction individually.
Are you incorporating the data that's also publicly available, or is there any other data sets that nobody else has got access to?
This would be only private data of failed clinical trials.
Great. All right, next, here, clicker. So next we have also from Italy, former graduate of Yale. Oh, you got, yeah, do you want 2 for stereo, or you're good? Okay.
Where's the clicker?
Good returns. AI-driven return system, redesigning the first mile in reverse logistics.
Hi, I'm Andrea, and this is Good Returns. We are redesigning the first mile in reverse logistics. Returns are broken. They waste time, fuel, and patience, especially when customers must drive to drop-off locations for items they don't want anymore. This issue affects 300 million consumers in the US only, very much likely you. The solution is an AI-powered platform that consolidates returns using gig drivers. So customers pay small fees, and we are also rewarded with CO2 incentives by municipalities. Unlike our competitors, which focus on exchanges and boxless returns, we try to redesign the entire process. Let's see how it works visually. You go from 4+ independent returns into one consolidated return, which cuts down emissions by 65%, and we can do this at scale. We evolve, so we have a phased rollout. In phase 1, we deployed the return system. In phase 2, we deployed the decentralized sorting system so that we have our trusted drivers performing visual checks at the items to be returned at the doorstep, and they decide where the items go, like donation, resale, or recycling. Why now? Merchants must decarbonize and speed up sorting. Consumers want convenience and sustainability, and AI is now able to make this whole thing possible. The tech, we have just a front end app, which is very basic and sort of a reverse Uber. The difficult part is the back end, which we are currently working on, is where the magic happens. In terms of milestones and funding, so the milestone is 500K transactions by year 1 and 5% of a 2.5 billion serviceable market by year 3. In order to do that, we try to raise 10 million just for phase 1. In terms of team, I'm Andrea, I'm an entrepreneur. Cesar is a data scientist. We are currently onboarding a CTO, and we are looking for talents in AI and logistics. There should be plenty here at MIT. In summary, this is an issue that touches almost everybody, but both customers and merchants are ready for a change, and the AI is an enabler for both routing and decentralized sorting. Thank you.
All right, let's get, we got 2 new questions. Yep, stand up, go.
Hi, thank you. Since you're using this for returns, why not use it for delivering goods and services as well? And what differentiates you from other delivery and returns systems in the market today?
I think UPS and FedEx and the likes are best organized to actually deliver the goods. We want Uber-like drivers to spend some of their time to do this job for us so that we don't invest a lot of capital in trucks and vans and that sort of stuff. So we focus on the service. And I think also Uber would not be suited to do this because you either transport people or goods.
Hey, are you going to need real estate, as in warehouses?
I don't think we need any warehouse, and at least at the very beginning, because the idea is I come to your house, I pick your package. If I'm asked to do it, I inspect your package, then I close it, and I take it to the drop-off location. That's it. I don't want to waste resources in unnecessary warehouses.
Well done. Thanks. Great. So here, stand up. So 3 classes ago, you were the winner. So you're back to like have your glory days? Yeah. And how's the company?
It's going well. Very well.
Okay, we'll bring you up at the end. All right, so I mentioned before that we were random on how we put these together. We actually weren't on this one because these two have similar approaches. Anthony, love Anthony, UCLA athlete at business school now, and has a similar idea about e-commerce and taking advantage of the trends. Anthony, go, Skipley.
30% of returns, 30% of orders that are made online will be returned. When you compare this to a 9% brick and mortar return rate, that's 3 times as likely as a product bought online versus in-store is to be returned. Historically, this has always been a complete headache for retailers and is a drag on profitability. At Skipley, we look at returns not as a drag on profitability, but as a new revenue opportunity and an insight engine. About me, as John mentioned, I'm a former UCLA track athlete. I worked at Nike where I did procurement, supply chain, and operations. I'm currently at Harvard MBA, and I was a part of the trillion-dollar crisis that I'm now looking to fix. We live in an overconvenience economy. In the touch of a button, we have what we want when we want it instantaneously. This has reached a tipping point with many retailers where they're struggling to keep up with the ever-rising of consumer expectations. So much so, in 2025 right now, we will pass the $1 trillion mark of value returned over e-commerce channels. Add on to that, 30% is spent on processing these returns, which is a dead cost, zero margin industry. When you take a look at the bigger picture, less than 50% of these returns are ever resold again at full resale MSRP value. So what are we doing? Well, let's first take a look at where the problems are. Look at all the touches it takes for you to ship, process, refurbish, and handle these returns. This is why few things ever make it to 6A and 6B on the right-hand side of the graph. As a default, most retailers want to get rid of these items as quickly as possible, which is why most of these end up in the landfills. Now, at Skipley, we're completely reimagining how this works in real time. We have a completely new model, which is an authentication and authorization process. We take on a product-by-product level, leveraging AI and machine learning to understand what are the value of these items and where should they go based on all these unique data points. Starting at the top based on highest salvage value, we then either consider resale through certified pre-owned channels, recycle, donate, or even unauthorize the return if there's no value left. We're calling this adaptive returns management, and it works in 3 steps. Just as easy as it is to biometrically scan your face through Apple Face ID, we're doing the same step in the return process. We take this information, understand then where it needs to go, and route the item in real time. So you're not automatically spending money as a retailer sending these products back to the processing facilities. I'm not just biased because I come from the footwear world. It's a very easy industry to start breaking into. 1, it has extremely high return rates. Secondarily, most of the reasons why they return are size-driven returns. And it's easy for customer adoption. Go ahead and take a look for yourself. If you're wearing some shoes, go ahead and scan it right now.
Any questions? Okay. Shantanu has a question. Anyone else? Okay, Beth and Kent. Okay. Shantanu, you have a question? Hurry up. Yeah, try the demo in the meantime. Go, Shantanu.
Yeah, try the demo in the meantime. Anthony, great. Do you know how much return rate you would reduce it by? Any estimation, any ideas?
Yeah, well, from conversations I've been having, 50% of product that comes back is in like new quality. 40% of product that comes back is in that medium, let's see what we do. 10 to 15% is in that absolutely trashed. Even if we only focused on that, on rejecting that trashed return rate, that's already 10 to 15% you're not spending on shipping and processing.
What kind of data will you give back to retailers in terms of the price, the cost? What is the thing that they're going to be able to reason over once you scan all this information and you have this data?
Absolutely. This actually gives us a much better understanding of the true LTV of the customer. When we look at LTV, we're far too often only looking at top line. We're also looking at bottom line. What are the true sell-through rates factoring in with retail? We're also looking at what are the key marketing strategies and sales strategies. So it's a lot more than just.
What insights do you envision providing the retailer around inventory?
Absolutely. We want to really understand what are the most highest returned products. How does that, affect the actual individual, and specifically.
On the side. Absolutely. Thank you. Come on. This is what you get when you get Oxford, the best school in Italy, and Dartmouth. Sloan goes to Sloan Business School and Harvard Business School. Go figure. All right. And they're about cameras. So I'm particularly interested in this one.
We are Capture, a two-sided marketplace where everyday users earn passively while giving businesses the authentic photos they need. To start, we want to highlight the incredible team we have across MIT and Harvard working on the product. And to understand the problem, meet Amy. Amy has just opened up a matcha shop near MIT and wants authentic, engaging photos for her weekly newsletter. She could hire a photographer, but those photos look staged and it's expensive. She could work with an influencer, but that involves contracts and a ton of back and forth. Or she could look at her tagged photos on Instagram, but that's a tedious manual process. Meanwhile, everyday phone users like you and me take 2.1 trillion photos a year, and 90% of them go unused. This is where Capture comes in. Capture is an AI-powered platform where marketers source authentic product photos from real users. Images are vetted by AI, reviewed by humans, and rewarded with discount coupons.
Here's our demo. A user searches through the marketplace, selects an open request, chooses their photos, and uploads them for submission. And then submissions go through our AI filters first before being presented to the marketeers. Now we are going to switch to the marketeers view. Marketers will see these incoming submissions and approve the ones they want to use. So far, users are browsing and uploading photos manually. But we are building the Capture library, where users can bulk upload photos, and our AI engine will automatically detect and match them to the current open requests. And here at the end, you will also see that the value identified will be highlighted. So far, on the video, we saw the Capture requests and the Capture library from our roadmap. But our real vision is the Capture AI Scout, a real-time on-device AI that scans users' entire camera roll and identifies the valuable content at the moment they are taken. This will create a seamless, privacy-first experience that will turn everyday moments into value-generating opportunities.
So why now? First of all, AI is for the first time making it possible to score photos at scale automatically, so no manual process involved. And this is what will empower the AI Scout, the ability to crawl through photos and monetize them. At the same time, SMB digital marketing spend is surging. We see that the total spend on visuals is $37 billion, and out of these $10 billion are in user-generated content. So how do we tackle to take a share of this? We plan to position ourselves as the app with the highest levels of user engagement and incentives, thanks to the use of AI and discount coupons. And we will charge a fixed fee of $5 per photo. We started doing our market research. We validated the friction with marketers, and we already found 2 marketers that are willing to pilot with our MVP. So we are Captura. We monetize moments to fuel brands, and we're happy to answer any question. Thank you.
All right, all right, stand up, stand up.
Hey, so I saw, it's personal photographs and stuff like that. You also mentioned privacy. So are you pushing the photos to the cloud, or are you doing the AI at the edge?
So currently, when we do manual upload of the user, then we will validate it in the cloud. But as we get to a full scouting on the camera, we do the validation on device, on the edge, so we ensure privacy this way.
When you mentioned the privacy, how do you ensure that the individuals in the photos gave permission?
So for this, we follow the regular protocols that current photo stock services use. So there will be a contract, basically, signed between the seller and the buyer to transfer that copyright for the photo.
I bring a different perspective. Photographs are old school. Today, people are generating their own AI images. How do you compete with that ecosystem now?
Well, we want authentic photos. We think that even in a world of AI, and probably even more so, the value of a real customer with a real product will be even higher.
Thank you.
All right. Maybe the youngest in the class, she from Cyprus. She's 21. You got a great team here. Let's see. So we're also in the double digits. Instant clinical clarity with AI chart review. Let's see what you got. And you got the clicker. Here you go.
How does this work?
The big button, the green button.
Great. I don't think it works.
The big green button.
Great. My name is Alyssa Miotaliotis. I am a Harvard data scientist and mathematician, and we are introducing Synesis for electronic health record chart summarization.
I'm a physician at Harvard. Every week, I see 100+ patients. And part of that, I have to read 1,000+ patient notes. It's a very cumbersome task. It leads to a lot of work and physician burnout. How can we make this process smoother so that your physicians don't miss any information in the patient chart?
So with Agentic AI, Synesis brings forward the relevant information for your specialty and billable actions. It flags care gaps and concerns and offers a HIPAA-compliant chat interface.
Our solution cuts chart review time by 70% and reduces missed data, saving physicians both time and money while generating an additional 25% in revenue through newly surfaced billable items.
Can you imagine reading through 1,000 of these notes a week? That's what I do every week.
So Synesis is a seamless EHR plugin. With the click of a single button, it brings together all of the information the cardiologist needs: the imaging, the labs, the billable action for the specific appointment. And when we ask in the chat interface what medications this patient on, it returns these to us instantly. Importantly, it's guardrails, so when we ask it something like what the weather is, since this is not medical or EHR information, it tells us it can't answer. It also has a hyperlink function, which takes us back to the source from which the information was extracted.
We are using an agentic framework to enable chart summarization for cardiologists in phase 1. Next, we'll expand to nephrology and endocrinology, introducing cross-specialty collaboration.
After speaking with venture capitalists, physicians, and most importantly, hospital leadership, we landed on a tiered business model with a starter and premium plan offering additional features. Some of the biggest successes in the current AI space have come from automating white-collar solutions, and we are following in these footsteps to be the next great success. We are a team of Harvard and MIT physicians, AI and business scientists, mentored by Mitsubishi Electric Innovation Center, and working with leaders in hospitals like Kaiser Permanente across the country. We are looking for pilot partners to help us deploy this solution widely for physicians. Thank you.
So you have 25 seconds. Do you want to say anything else? You want to yield to?
We would love to hear your questions and answer them.
Questions? Anyone? All right, stand up. Stand up. Stand up. Okay. So.
Hi. There are already medical EMR systems today like Epic, which obviously you will be integrating into. What if Epic comes out with their own agentic AI? What's your moat?
Yeah, so currently Epic is not focused on these areas. For example, Abridge and these other scribe companies have very well integrated into this as their focus is elsewhere. So we are coming in to help the physicians on an overall standpoint from a new perspective.
Can your solution be shared like with other doctors? So for example, if I've got 5 different doctors for the 5 different issues, like so that like every doctor can see everything that's going on with me?
Exactly. So this is one of the main issues with current medical system, there's an extreme silo between different specialties in the data. So having these summaries and having the relevant information per domain makes it incredibly easy to share, and there is also a communication aspect being integrated in the next phase.
Also work
Say again, sorry? So the servers are hosted locally in the hospital, yeah. So there is no information.
So in the last 18 months, maybe, there's been about a dozen companies funded in this space, specifically automating through AI the doctor's notes. Have you looked at them? What is your competitive advantage, or how are you different?
Go find her afterwards. You're done. So the next group are, you ever wonder what two MIT students that graduate from MIT and then join the Media Lab as master students, what they could cook up? You're in personal robotics group here, and you're in Ramesh's group, so you may want to give her favorite status. All right, Joyce, here's...
Hi everyone, we're Simulate AI. I'd like to start by asking everyone a question. What is the biggest source of revenue loss for the largest enterprises today? Is it engineering bottlenecks? Is it poor management? Is it competitive markets? If you answer none of the above, you are correct. It's slow product iteration. 37 billion. That's the amount lost every single year due to slow product iteration cycles. Synthesizing customer data, collaborating with engineering and design, collecting customer feedback, all of that falls onto the shoulders of PMs, and it's no wonder so many inefficiencies fall through the cracks. That's why we're building Simulate AI. We are the first AI co-pilot that leverages your customer feedback and experimentation data to close the gap between data and design, leveraging every customer interaction into a smarter next iteration. At its core, we allow PMs to ideate, iterate, and innovate. Our prototyping engine generates testable prototypes in a matter of seconds, allows you to collect feedback instantly, and our prototyping engine allows this AI to learn over time what works and what doesn't, all without the work of engineering and design. Now I'll pass it over to Joyce, who will showcase the product demo.
All right, here's the product demo. First, we start by creating an org, and our platform integrates with your entire company data, serves as a customer insights engine, and an intelligent dashboard that lets you filter by data sources, segment by your customers, and even ask your customer personas directly the questions that you would spend hours doing field research on. Our personas will use your contextualized company internal docs to give you smart answers that lets you go straight from insight to action. Take your insights, turn it into actions by putting it into our prototyping tool, where you can just offer a link, offer some natural language prompts, and we empower the PMs to iterate directly on their website itself without having to write a single line of code. Here we add a logo to someone else's website. We also use your company's internal design context to keep designs consistent. Now you can export to Figma, deploy live, test on our site. And in this way, we empower PMs to ideate, innovate, and iterate without ever leaving our site. We are operating on a huge $90 billion market opportunity, serving digitally native B2C companies with PMs who just want to ship faster and ship smarter. Here, the competitive landscape tells the whole entire story, where we have user insight tools, customer research tools, data tools, and low-code prototyping tools, but nothing that ties all of it together for PMs. Well, there's one now, and that's us. We're an unstoppable team. I'm Joyce, this is Brandon, we have Michelle, and we bring in agentic system experience from MIT, and we bring in product and customer insight experience from HBS.
Okay, time. You may be undergrads, but you...
Okay.
All right, Dave.
All right, you said export to Figma. Great idea, by the way. But export to Figma, are you going to wait for MCP wrappers on every legacy system? Are you going to integrate with all these legacy systems? How's that all going to work?
Yeah, we're trying to be as seamless as possible, as least friction to adoption as possible. We talked to a bunch of designers and PMs, and they have to coordinate tirelessly between going from product idea to prototype. As long as we allow as flexible of an input option as output option, we believe that Figma is a great way to do it. We believe that we will create our own MCP server so that engineers can leverage it to create better prototypes. We're trying to bridge the gap between data and design. We believe that design is business metric centric and not, sorry.
Love the idea, would use it myself. You're going to hear it a lot, the privacy kind of concerns. I work at a PBM right now, and we would love to use this, I suspect, but PHI data makes this impossible. How
Exactly.
would you mitigate?
Yeah, data privacy is a big concern. We believe that our initial wedge will be the prototyping tool. At its core, our prototyping engine will be on par with the players in this market, such as Lovable and Bolt. But as you integrate our AI engine into this and we integrate with existing data, we believe that we will provide a competitive edge. Thank you.
All right, so the good news is you've heard 11 presentations. The bad news is we're halfway begun, and we only have another half. We do have 3 bonus presentations for each a minute. And right now, I want to have Ramesh talk a little bit about the booklet that he created that has something to do with today's method. But we're going to take a 3-minute break, and what I'd like you to do is talk to someone next to you, say one interesting thing about yourself, and then talk about 2 of the 11 ones that you presented. And here, the guy who won a few years ago, is he here? Yeah, where are you? Where are you?
From Blue Voice.
Shield.
Blue Voice.
Blue Voice. Are you still here? Yeah.
He'll come back.
You would not be in the top 5 this year, buddy. I'm sorry. You won a few years ago. They've just gotten that good. No disrespect for you. Yeah. Okay. All right. Ramesh.
All right.
Will you tell people
All right.
what they won?
First of all, amazing stuff, right? It's only 6 weeks of work, and they have got to this level of polish. Isn't it amazing? So all the credit goes to the teams and projects and mentors and so on. But another part of the secret is how we do it, how we teach this course. And we have documented all of that in this booklet. So if you're interested, we'll put a link up at the end, and you can click on it, and we'll send you the PDF of the secret formula of how to go from an idea to a venture in 90 days. All right? It's called Spot Probe Method. So I think one important thing to realize is that we are moving to a post-AI world, okay? A lot of the AI tools are almost commoditized, and that's why instead of AI, now we're talking about networks of AIs. You know, how do these different AIs, there are micro AIs, milli AIs, or bigger AIs, how once they're networked, how they're working with each other is going to unlock billions, maybe trillions of dollars of value. So we are in this post-AI world. So when you're thinking about the next 12 teams coming up, try to imagine, where are they going? Are they really thinking about the Internet of AIs, or are they still stuck in the PC or the mainframe era of AI? All right? So you have a 2-minute break. Stand up. Don't move around.
Hold on. Just one thing. I want to say that this is Ramesh's passion right now. This is not directly related to the demo, but this is like subliminal message. Learn about this. I write a daily column on Forbes. I just passed 1 million readers in my last article. But 3 articles ago, I wrote about Nanda. And if you want to learn about it, feel free to take a look. All right. So now introduce yourself, weird brag, and then talk about 2 of the 11 companies and stand up and stretch. But don't move because we need you.
You cannot move without outside.
Right, ready? Time. Go. 3 minutes on the clock. 3 minutes on the clock.
Stand down. Stand up. Stand up.
Want to ask any questions?
It's good. We have the camera. Say hello.
I keep having people brush.
No, I carry him at 10.
Yeah, because you signed up to be a judge.
I know. I would like to. Yeah. Is there I know the drill.
I know, but you always say you didn't go last year, you signed up.
Ready? Next. All right, we're ready to start.
It's amazing. All right.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
I think we're on time, right?
Yeah, we're almost on time.
And Minaz,
I think maybe like 5
whatever
minutes
her
late.
name is, wanted the room, so I got everything cleaned out.
Yeah, 5 minutes late, so we should probably get up. It's fine. We'll go from there. Oh, no, don't take the book yet. I'll send you the PDF. I'll send you the PDF. Don't take the book. All right.
We got an extra mic, so I
No, but if you tell now, they'll probably be down.
Let me be the heavy.
Let me get you a chair.
So,
Are you going to stand and do it? I'm sorry, I'm just going to get a chair. No, I kept 10 chairs just for you.
Okay.
I should use at least one of them. All right. Sorry?
Rare minerals, just real.
You're going to give us that one?
Yeah, I'll give you this. All right, 30 seconds.
Is there any chance I could give a 5-second speech on this line?
On which one?
This
Yeah.
is our team. I just want to give a 5-second.
Were you the last one to
I was
go?
the last one.
Like you were,
I was team 12.
and you wanted to be
five,
spliced. Why?
5 seconds.
What do you want to say?
Have not even one?
I just want to leave off with the fact that everyone in here is a PM. We've talked to 50
It's
plus
for the...
we secured-
All right, it's 3 minutes.
You want to join us on your-
All right, if everybody can
All right,
seat
all right, sit down, everyone. Live, 2 from South Africa, 1 from Armenia, and 1 from India, and 1 from Taiwan. Those are countries that don't always talk to one another, and these guys have a play on trust. Let's hear what they have to say. You guys have been a great audience. Be quiet now. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. We're the team at Authentica AI. We combine deep science with AI to solve a very pressing issue at the moment, geopolitical and compliance issue. Verification of rare earth elements oxides in the world. Think of us as TSA pre-check for critical minerals. So rare earth elements power the global economy, right? But the system is outdated. We rely on paper certificates of analysis, which are self-reported and prone to falsification. And as you can imagine, this is costing companies and economies around the world in excess of 13 billion in losses. With new laws, sanctions, and now tariffs, ESG risk is high. Enter Authentica AI. We're a forensic AI screening engine for critical minerals. We transform raw material lab data into verifiable origin predictions in 3 easy steps. And here's how it works. You upload your certificate of analysis, and our engine uniquely predicts the region of your sample that you've uploaded. What makes it really cool is our scoring engine underneath. We compare your sample to 50 global mining regions around the world based on geochemical similarity and risk analysis.
So we're transforming the industry. We're moving away from paper, and today we are the only agentic platform that combines compliance scoring, AI fingerprinting, and data parsing for minerals. We see a $40 billion US opportunity, but what truly creates our focus is our beachhead, this untapped market of rare earth element trade corridor in African and BRICS countries. So why here and why us? Thanks to our lived experience and our on-the-ground insights, Authentica is uniquely positioned to be the provenance gold standard for the Global South. We are internationally recognized successful founders who have successfully worked in multiple public-private partnerships for years. Our team comes from Harvard and MIT, and we have close to 30 years of experience in these relevant industries, and our advisors are industry experts from around the world. We have a multi-phase plan moving from our functional MVP today to Authentica Pro tomorrow, and this incorporates AI and ESG dashboard integrations. So in today's global economy, Origin is truly everything. So join us today as we bridge the physical with the digital and build the provenance layer for real-world assets. Thank you.
Thank you.
Ruta has a question. She has a big fund, so you can listen to what she has.
I wasn't clear. Who are you selling to? Is it the mines or is it the end user that will be your client?
And end users. We're also looking at customs offices, banks for ESG compliance as well. So we have a range of customers that we're looking at.
How did you collect the data for the provenance and the composition, all of that? That's a huge amount of...
So in the early stages, we're using publicly available data, but we hope we can incentivize some of the new countries that want to participate in the supply chain with sharing their data with us.
Okay.
So those are countries in Africa.
You never know who's in the room. Anna, can you just stand up? She runs the D Lab, which is a very important lab in the history of MIT. I think we've got Nobel Prizes coming out of that. So statistically, you may be next.
Are you leveraging blockchain technology for that?
That is phase 3. That's something that we would like to implement. That's the part where we make money, where we...
Okay, last question. Are you two really from New Jersey and these are fake South African accents? All right. All right, bye. Bye, bye, bye. All right, let's go. Come on. All right. Green. These two are wearing yellow shirts. Let's hear what they have to say.
Hi, we're 58 Market, and we're building the personal digital twin for enterprise. We see a world where every company employee will have a personal digital twin capable of documenting, answering, and executing on your behalf. Now, we knew that to build this, we'd have to combine expertise in B2B enterprise, AI, and search, and that's exactly what we did. I'm Alexander.
I'm Itamar.
And we're joined by Danilo. And we're longtime friends from Brazil. We met through Brazil's top scholarship foundation, and we've been in the trenches building together before. As we scaled our former businesses, we noticed that we'd spend a lot of time searching through these vast company repositories, only to come up empty-handed when we needed it the most. Now, it turns out that Woody and Buzz over there, they were right. Data is everywhere, but with that comes fragmentation, and it's an enormous market. We're talking about TAM in the hundreds of billions of dollars. But while there are internal search tools available in the market, like Akuda, Glean, and Onyx AI, these API-first platforms are dependent on employees manually documenting everything. And that's where we found our wedge. We are redesigning this approach. And thanks to Manus AI, Operator, and computer use.
Cool, so that's how it works. Let's say I need to onboard a new employee. Danilo has done this in the past, multiple times. So I can go ahead and ask him. Instead of hopping in a call and showing me how to do that, he can just, do what he would do normally and instead use our app. So our app will record every single movement he does, like cursor movement, clicking, inputting text, and etc. And after that, it will generate a script that will make this replicable for other employees with their specific context. When he's done, he can just click a share button and send me. And that's how it would work on my side. I can just open the link, or I can also open the app and browse through the scripts of other employees, other tasks that they had already documented. So there it is, Danilo's task. But let's show a simple test just because of time. Here, I want to search the conversion between dollar and real in Google. And then what it will do is it will follow it step by step and do everything for me while I can work on other stuff on the background. So here is clicking, inputting text, clicking a button, and boom. We have the result, and we have a summary of what was done. But it doesn't end like that. If I have any follow-ups, I can also just ask Danilo's twin, and it will answer based on his context. And maybe I need Alex's input on that as well. So I can just ask him, and we'll have this support for multi-agent interaction within the same context. Well, if your hands are busy, you can also just chat with a twin and ask anything.
I'm Igor's digital twin. How can I help?
We'll wrap it up because of time constraints, but happy to talk about short and long-term plans.
All right, let's go. Who has a question for Brazil. Let's go. Anyone? All right, Beth. Anyone else?
No, we need this one, John.
Yeah. Beth
How-
went to Cornell. She's really clever.
Not to MIT. How do you work on error correction, things that people get wrong? You know, you don't want to bake that into this set of agents. What's the feedback loop for that?
Right. So right now we generate this routine, and when the agent is executing it based on your current context, it auto-updates it if it gets something wrong. So it regenerates the routine and does checks every single step.
All right, Dave worked with Minsky when he was here, and he created the first neural network company, and he sold a company for $1 billion in 2000. So you could extrapolate from that. Go.
Okay, thanks. So you open the door to the long-term future. So the digital agent twin makes perfect sense today, but at the rate that the models are improving and the IQ is skyrocketing, what's it going to look like? Like, what's its even purpose 3 years, 5 years from now?
Well, you have, I think, something more personalized. So you can actually talk to the person, and then let's say, for example, I ask something to your twin, and it doesn't know how to answer based on your document. Then we can flag it to the real you and say, oh, maybe you didn't document that well. So, and if you do, this will help other employees.
Okay. Go. All right, she rides horses, and he's a serial entrepreneur. This isn't his first time at the rodeo. Do you hear that? You saw that, right? Yeah. Go.
Hi, everyone. Okay, where do I go? Okay, so let's be real. Tenant onboarding sucks. It's slow, painful, time-consuming, and expensive. On average, property managers spend 10 to 20 hours just to get one rental unit ready to move in. It's a mess of emails, spreadsheets, PDFs, and whatnot. And while the entire process is taking on, screening takes time, fraud slips in, and the rental unit sits idle. And on the top of that, 80% of these mid-sized property managers are still relying on these fragmented manual processes. Our solution? Connect AI. Connect is an AI building platform that makes this tenant onboarding from a tedious 30-day or more process into a 3-day streamlined process. And here's how we do it.
So how does Connect work?
Okay, can somebody mute this? Because, yeah. So what happens is that the tenants upload their rental documents and other documents on our platform. Our AI system verifies them and points out if there is any documents which are suspicious. On the rental side, on the manager's side, the Connect is integrated into the AI platform system where the documents are automatically verified. If there are any fraudulent documents, our AI platform flags them, and the screening and application is automatically done, which is very faster. So our market, Connect is disrupting a very fragmented industry of small and mid-sized property managers. The property management market is a $100 billion market. And on the top of that, the tenant onboarding and verification is $5 billion. But our beachhead is the small and the mid-sized property managers, around $1.5 billion market, who are often overlooked by these traditional legacy software companies. On our competitors, there are certain other platforms which are out there in the market, like Yardi and Buildream, but Connect is automated and trusted. We're doing a pricing unit of 5 to 10 units dollars with a lifetime value of $20 to $30 per unit. Hi, I'm Mahnur. I have Brian, Dylan, Marwan, Maria. We are students from Harvard and MIT and trying to build this platform. So far, we have conducted 30 interviews with property managers and renters. We have built and developed a prototype and checked our AI prototype with real property management documents. And we have identified one potential pilot customer who's ready to get on board with Connect with around 500 property units with them. So if any of you is like potential early stage investor, partner, or a pilot customer, and you believe in building AI native
Great job. Okay, questions?
Thank you.
Hi, as a competitive differentiation, you said you're a trusted platform. How are you going to build trust?
So our platform is not going to be building vertically our verification software. We're going to be working with companies like SumSub that does uses computer vision as well as Face++ to streamline the verification process for property managers. And those are some of the ways in which we're going to implement more trust as well. They also do fraud detection as well in this process.
Yeah, I just wanted to add on to what you just asked is who has the ultimate legal responsibility or if you get this all wrong?
Yeah, so that's one of the things that we consider as we're building this company. We're initially going to try to partner with third-party providers to mitigate this the legal actions that can be implemented in this process.
All right, the next one, I called a Fortune 50 number 2, and I said, do you want to talk to this guy? This was the head of Estee Lauder. And he absolutely was amazed, and he keeps calling me back. When's this team ready for me to follow up with? Let's see why Carl Haney was so interested in our next HBS grads team. Go.
Hey guys, my name's Pierre. I'm the founder of Zaka. So legacy systems are drowning businesses in administrative work. I've lived it at PwC with my clients and as a business owner. So I built Zaka to fix it. So meet John. I named him John, by the way. So John is a top sales rep. And this guy spends 4 hours a day entering data in his ERP system, SAP, Salesforce, etc., from Excel sheets, PDFs, emails, or notes from the calls. This is not sales. He's literally babysitting the systems that he has. So it costs $500 billion to the US economy. What we do, we end the pain today. So we take all those emails, all those chats, all the PDFs, the text, no templates required, and we streamline them into structured ERP actions. It takes less than 10 seconds, 99% accuracy, very minimal human effort. This is the most important thing. We charge something like $50,000 per module, and the ROI for customers is 10x. So let's see a product demo to see how it works. Oh, there's no sound, no problem. So you receive this email.
Automates order entry. On the left, you see the email from the customer. On the right, the order has been processed with detailed SKUs. We find the best matches to your SKU catalog through ERP integration. You submit, and the order is filled in your ERP system, from hours of manual work to just a few clicks.
So why now? Tech debt has doubled in the last 5 years. Labor costs are up 20% in the last 5 years because of inflation. At the same time, AI is finally ready for development of scalable enterprise-ready solutions. That's why we're doing it now. So the market, you have 2.3 million businesses in the US running on legacy systems. This represents a $50 billion opportunity. Now, we're starting way smaller. We're starting with only wholesalers, $250 million of opportunity. And the reason why we started with that wedge is that their pain is the highest. So, in terms of traction, we've called more than 100 businesses, and they shared those pain points with us. We have one design partner. It's a 10 million restaurant chain. And we're talking with nine companies for paid pilots. That represents 250K of ARR. So, the team. I'm a computer engineer, and I built machine learning algorithms before AI was cool for enterprises. One of them is a retention algorithm for a large telecom operator. I also won the data science competition of Harvard Business School last year. My mentors are AI leaders from top universities and top companies. Some of them have $1 billion of exits. I talked to all those business owners with the 100 people that I mentioned before. They shared those pain points, and I had those pain points in my past job. That's why I'm so obsessed with fixing it.
Okay, let's go. Questions, anyone? Anyone? All right, I'm going to randomly call on someone if you don't have a question. Anders, ask a question. And Raina.
What's your competition? How are you going to, remain unique? Here.
The competition is basically, you have all the traditional ERP systems that have been trying to build AI workflows, and it's not working. It's been 2 years they're trying things. And the problem is their tech stack is super, super heavy. And every time they want to implement something new for a new customer, it takes months of implementation. What we're doing is we're integrating from outside with operator APIs and with general APIs. Now, at the same time, we have new startups that are coming up doing very similar things, and everyone has chosen a different wedge. We chose the wedge that has the highest pain, which is wholesalers. It's going to be a very competitive market for sure, but
Okay, hi. Kind of building on that. So with AI companies, there's economies of scale, but economies of scope. As you collect more and more data, you're able to expand what your platform can do. Have you thought about that?
Yeah, and you're totally right on that. So the more you will be, the platform will be used by a certain customer, the more data from their own ERP system will be crunched. So it will get better and better with time. So like the first week of the product will be way less good than in a year from now. And it's linked to their own product catalog. I can show you how it differs after. By the way, my booth is there. We're raising 1.5. Okay.
So let's hear it for Ramon, Tom, and Jacob. When they're not here, they're producing the MIT graduation. All this is being recorded. If you want to rewatch this like Khan Academy and get schooled, or for those of you who are not here, and you should be, if you want to learn about these, this is going to be on the internet. Thank you, Ramon, Tom, and Jacob. All right, we got a doc and an engineer who does B2B stuff. Let's see if they add up to anything. Go. You push the green button. For a doctor, you should know that.
Not an engineer.
Not an engineer, all right.
Raise your hand. Who here has a woman in their life or a woman themselves? I'm sure everyone here. What we are building at Pelvi Tech is an AI. Is an AI-guided physical therapy that is specially catered for women's health. Because we know women's bodies are changing constantly at every phase of life, from adolescent to menopause and beyond, we are starting with a beachhead of pelvic floor physical therapy. My name is Anshul. I'm a doctor of PT, physical therapy for 20 years, a mom who has seen the problem as a patient and a provider. I'm a Sloan Fellow MBA as well. Joining me is a solid team from AI, Women's Health Postdoc, AI Computer Science, MIT, and a B2B strategy experience, Kellogg LM. And thanks to the amazing mentors, including Chris Peace, I would like you to meet Sarah. She is a 31-year-old mom who is pregnant and suffering from leakage while she's working out, but she's embarrassed to talk about it, and she's not alone. 1 in 3 women suffer from pelvic floor dysfunction that causes pain, intimacy issues, and disrupts their life on a daily basis. Yet 70% are untreated, causing $27 billion in financial burden. And this is not just a crisis. This is a huge opportunity that you see for $50 billion, increasing at 9%, and it also impacts 1 in 6 men. Compared to our competitors, we are laser focused on women's health, providing the personalized care and the trusted care that they need. And Hinge Health's IPO status helps validate the acceptance of virtual physical therapy.
So what we're trying to do is create a real-time physical therapy experience. So what that means is first in-person comprehensive exam at a clinic, followed by an avatar-guided session at home, anytime, anywhere, provides sensitive feedback, which women seek, then a telehealth session with a physical therapist, adjusting the plan of care. The components you need, we already spoke about this, you need computer vision and store this all in a HIPAA-compliant database. The hardest bit here is the real-time feedback loop, and we've been trying to create that, and we've already succeeded at asynchronous feedback, and now we are providing this as a real-time feedback. Here's a taste of things.
Hi, I'm Victor, your digital therapist. Let's see your form with bridge pose. You need to keep your core tight and raise your hips a bit.
And over summer, MIT Delta V will create this in a more holistic product experience and create IP around this. Now switching gears, our business model is twofold, 2 entity structure, B2C, which will provide customer care, and a B2B entity, which will license this out to other hospitals and clinics. Here's all the traction we've had. We've gone into Delta V, gotten funding, additional funding, and we have 2 pilots.
Question? Okay, I bet you have a question. Anyone else? Okay, you ask.
Who are you going to use for your therapists?
I am the pelvic floor physical therapist.
And so you're going to be all virtual agents? Is that the concept?
No, so it's a hybrid model where the first visit is in-person pelvic examination, and then the AI avatar they can do from home because stigma is a problem. they can do from their convenient location. And then there is a telehealth by the therapist as a follow-up to the plan of care that they do at home.
And who's going to pay for it?
Yeah, so to add to your question, we'll have therapists. Think of this as an empowered therapist model, right? They can see multiple patients because they have to do the first comprehensive exam and then just 15-minute follow-ups.
Are you using VLMs, visual language models, to see if...
Are you then selling through physical therapists directly, or I'm confused on that?
So we have two models. One is the direct-to-consumer model, and second is the entity. We already have 2 pilots running. Where they're going to license this out to places where they cannot offer women's health therapy, because the current status is there's a 6-month wait.
All right, Peru, Japan, China, and Peru.
Korea.
Oh, Taiwan? Korea, okay, that's different. Yes, so we have Japan, Peru, and Korea, and 50, like we had the 21-year-old from Cyprus, she was the youngest. These folks have 50 years of combined experience. Wisdom is worth something today. Let's see.
Hello, we are Team Greenbridge. We help organizations and corporations provide better solutions, smarter and faster solutions for energy efficiency and infrastructure projects. So I have developed more than 100 infrastructure projects in my professional life. Along with my colleagues, we sum up around 50 years of experience developing infrastructure. We have been working 3 months ago with the Marblehead Light Commission here in Massachusetts to help them prioritize 2 different policies to implement in the district, and we have efficiently worked with them in this task. Like Marblehead or the many organizations that work with us, there are companies today constantly trying to implement infrastructure and sustainability and facing a lot of challenges, cutting costs, attending multiple customer demands, having to implement energy efficiency, and coordinating with multiple stakeholders at the same time. This is where Greenbridge comes in play. We accelerate decision-making, balance environmental, economic and financial issues, help you to have a real-time coordination with your stakeholders, and also providing options for funding and streamlined partnerships in the way. We have been developing this AI model that provides predictive analysis, stakeholder coordination, funding options, and becoming an AI companion to support organizations implement sustainability and move forward with the energy efficiency task we have ahead. We are very thankful to Korean Airlines and Marblehead Energy that are here today accompanying us, that they are contributing enormously to creating the pilots and supporting our development. So Greenbridge provides visual simulation tools, multi-criteria analysis, and stakeholder coordination using our AI model. Let me show you some of the companies that are working today into implementing the energy solutions. Most of the major companies in the world today are getting and implementing actions in this task. There is a large US market for this and also global market. We have good around $3 trillion US funding that needs to be allocated for this energy efficiency task. And also there is, this is a growing market that today is worth 17 million that is expected to grow in the next, for 2030 into $100 billion. Our team is a very experienced team. I have been working into the development of infrastructure for more than 15 years. My friend Dragon, he's an expert in transportation infrastructure, and Chie, she is an expert in energy efficiency. Irma, she's an expert in financing and venture capital for getting projects and funding for this task. Thank you, and please come to talk with us.
All right, stand up, Google. Anyone else? Anyone else?
Thanks for the demo. So you said models. So what is unique about the models of the solution that you are providing?
We help organizations be able to evaluate their alternatives. We all have alternatives into developing infrastructure projects. We work with limited budget and a lot of pressure in time constraints. We have to also accomplish net zero emissions, and so our platform will help you to take that decision, evaluate it using data analysis and good visualization tools so you can develop and do these tasks more efficiently, and also engage with your stakeholders. We will show you the demonstration of the app in our table afterwards. Thank you.
Okay, exit, go. So you never know who's in the room. I see, here, go. I see Joan, she runs like innovation at Children's Hospital. I see Brian, can you wave? He was in charge of like $1 trillion at Fidelity, one of those child prodigies that could have been an evil character in a James Bond movie. Samson, same category. Caltech grad, PhD from MIT, one of the best at computer vision that's out there. So there are people more interesting in this room than anyone you're ever going to meet. So this is a good room to know. Brendan, thank you for using my camera. He's doing the high up. Is Morgan here? Morgan is a Cerebras fellow doing amazing things. He has a great startup, and he's using my other camera. My guess is the photos will be funny. And where's my third camera? Where are you from? Yeah, so thank you for documenting. All right, Del Monte, partner at IBM. They have a whole new idea on supply chain, and they're doing this. Like, they're doing this. This isn't a grade. This isn't this is real. So as some of these others. I also want to point out that 250 people applied for this class. I bet a lot of people in this room are those that didn't get in. Only 60 got into the class. So we could have had 3 other demo days of all the students that didn't get into the class being taught somewhere else, Ramesh. You know that. All right, here, let's see what these guys got. Go.
By show of hands, who here suffers from notification fatigue from emails, calls, texts on your phone every day, all day? Me too. Now imagine that your job, your business viability, and your margin for the day depends on your ability to execute on these notifications, because behind them, there are orders. And believe it or not, in food distribution, that's exactly what happens and how orders are placed through various means, emails, calls, texts, WhatsApp, voicemails, leading to thousands of notifications that are currently processed manually.
My name is Sharif, and I actually led the digital team at Del Monte, one of the world's biggest agri-food distributors. So our solution is rather simple. From the sales side, we are looking at formal and informal means of communication. When it comes to the formal means, there are all the advanced, fancy, expensive, heavy to deploy ERP systems, EDI, Salesforce, SAP, and whatnot. And from the other side, which seem to have a prevalent position over these other fancy ones, iMessage, WhatsApp, and all the other informal means of communication. Fruitful now streamlines the communication across all these systems into a single platform. We're also looking at the invoicing side, because we realize that money is being left on the table every single day. So our sourcing side takes, we'll show you actually in a minute, but it takes the invoices and we aggregate the information at a click of a button.
This is the food distribution in the US is a $300 billion industry operating at single margins right now. We focus on the sourcing and the sales side with the ambition of processing billions worth of orders through our platform and becoming the API and data layer in the industry. We have 3 live pilots with distributors from beverage to produce to oysters and an order book of over 15.
This is our demo, very quickly. Basically, you can see now, instead of hovering between different screens, you can now see the new orders, the adjusted orders, and the canceled orders. Imagine going through this entire process and still getting an order canceled. It happens. Our system ensures that you can actually read through your communication in a single platform. You can read through the email correspondence if you would like to. And better yet, if you want to still stick to your existing ERP system, with a click of a button, a single click, that is, you can actually transfer all that information that matters into your ERP system. And for the invoicing, as I promised earlier, it's as simple as a drag and a drop and a reconciliation. You don't have to worry about it anymore. Next. This is our team. As I said, my name is Sharif. Pavlos was a partner at IBM, and William, our technical co-founder, is an MS MBA at Harvard, and together we're building Fruitful. We're lucky to have an excellent team of advisors. Zafar here in the audience, thank you for being here and supporting us throughout. John Holland, shout out, who was actually our first adopter of the technology and our biggest supporter.
Okay, you're done.
Yes.
Right. Questions, anyone? Okay.
What is your go-to-market strategy? And maybe add some women advisors to your team as well.
Yes, would you be interested? Definitely. So our go-to-market strategy is actually rather simple. We reach out directly to distributors through our personal networks. We have people within our outreach, and we found something called Blue Book. There's a list of all the distributors there that we have scraped. Basically, we scraped the web. We created our own database. It's very convoluted, but we have our system now. Yes, we'll talk.
Hi. Former CIO here. With the spaghetti of IT applications, invoice, ingestion is already there in SAP, Oracle, all systems. Yes. What's the differentiator? Why should I use yet another app?
How expensive is SAP?
When you already have SAPs and the Oracles.
That's the thing. Most of them don't even have SAP.
Got it.
Yeah. But great question. Thank you.
Okay, you guys are done. Go.
Thank you.
All right. So if everyone could put 4 fingers up like right now. Okay, that's how many presentations we have of the 3-minute presentations. Everyone do 3? That's how many 1 minute. So we only have 7 more presentations. I'm really sorry that's all we have, but who's enjoyed it so far? So after this, they're all gonna be at tables. Who's gonna go meet at least one of the groups? Okay, I challenge one of you to meet every single group. Who wants to try to do that? Okay, all right, what color's your hair? What color's your hair? Okay, if you see him coming towards the table, get out of his way. He has a lot of busy work to do, okay? All right, our next group, Harvard, MIT, let's see if they get along. Pakistan, India, let's see if they get along. CS, undergrad at MIT, doing her master's at MIT, so she's really a lot of experience in MIT, an MBA from Harvard. Let's go.
Okay. Hey guys, we are Optimi Health. This is Seema Kanwal. She is a 39-year-old woman. She's a single mother. She's working, and she's just been diagnosed with breast cancer. She's very scared. Luckily, she has a nurse, a family nurse, who came to help her make the right decisions for her treatment support. She also has an assistant who has booked all her appointments and continues to manage her calendar, booking her next appointments for her hospital visits, and managing her medications. She also has a friend who has gone through the process and is providing her the support that she needs at this time. This is a utopian world, and it does not exist. 69% of breast cancer patients go through decision regret. 33% of them end up getting corrective surgeries and treatments and processes. Seema Kanwal was my oldest sister. She got diagnosed with breast cancer and did not have this support system, and unfortunately passed away in August 2022. That is exactly why we are building Optimi Health. This is what it is. Optimi Health features AI personalization and agents to help provide the support to every single breast cancer patient out there. The Opti Guide and Opti Nurse, they provide you with all the information for your decision support, personalized information because they look into your wearable health statistics, your medical health records. They also take information from the patient themselves to give you personalized recommendations of sleep, activity, what kind of foods you should be indexing on. The autonomous assistant manages your calendar, books your appointments, keeps track of your medication, and prompts you to take your medication and stay religious to your journey so your outcomes can improve. The Pink Sister platform, it matches you to the right community and mentor. This is our team. I am an MBA. I have 6 to 7 years of experience in operations and business analytics. My co-founder is a medical expert with 23 years of experience. She is a breast reconstruction surgeon and unfortunately couldn't be here today because she's in surgery. We also have great technical talent, a full stack engineer, and a deep learning LLM expert. The overall market for AI personalization and digital agents is 80 billion. We're targeting 1 billion. Our market strategy is simple. We have more than 50 plus patients on the waitlist and 15 surgeons who want to try out our platform. Our moonshot is to build a layer on top of Epic, which is just a repository tool. We want to make it a patient management tool, unlocking value for patients and physicians. This is our revenue stream. In the competitive landscape, there are a lot of different players trying to unlock different small values and features, but after talking to more than 50 plus patients and tapping into my co-founder's experience of working with thousands of patients, we have realized we need to conjunctively provide this value by unlocking full comprehensive support and personalization for patients. This is our demo, and in the meantime, while it plays, I'll take any questions.
Sorry, you lost your sister. It's sad. Who are you going to be selling to? Is it to the patients? And then a twofer, actually. Are you also... Oh, you got one there.
Okay, I'm glad you asked that question because I just went through the revenue stream. We already have a company called Mentor, which is a J&J subsidiary, locked in to be paying for just being listed in the OptiTech piece of our platform, where we just opened up, where they will be listed as a clickable link to be provided to the patients as an option for their products.
Yeah, Joan, head of innovation and transformation and C-suite at Children's Hospital.
It's a wonderful presentation. My question to you, I was going to ask the same one about who's going to pay, because that is going to be a huge factor. The second, what do you see as your biggest roadblock to making this happen? How do you make this not another stressor to the patient?
Yes. So to answer your first question, there are going to be product listings by product companies, as I mentioned, J&J subsidiary Mentor.
10 seconds.
They'll be paying for that. And the second thing is the best UX UI, making it more seamless when we're partnering with hospitals and clinical centers, and Methodist Houston, where my co-founder works. That's how we're going to make it seamless.
Okay. So is there a doctor in the house? Okay, our next speaker is a doctor. She had a road accident. That's how excited she is to be here, despite the road accident. She's here. Is there someone who's worked, who ran Twitter India? Yeah, he's right there. He's not running it now. You can ask him why. Ladies and gentlemen, our next two co-founders. Here, you want the clicker? Yeah.
John, thanks for that intro. We love it. And we love you as well.
A fellow from the Kennedy School of Government, and you're at Chan School, at Harvard.
Yep.
So this is a Harvard team that infiltrated the MIT class.
We also have a few MIT folks who didn't show up today, but we have MIT folks as well.
All right. Hi, everyone. Imagine converting every smartphone into a personal tutor. Well, that is what LearnIQ is. I'm Dr. Uzma Fareen, and I'm here to introduce LearnIQ, the AI tutor for the next billion learners. Think of it as Fitbit for young minds, tracking, adapting, and improving how students learn every day.
What's a fun fact?
Indian students, they have enough content, but they need coaching. 60% of the students who are high school going, that is grade 8 to 12, they struggle with maths, science, English, and critical reasoning. Private tutoring is good, it is effective, but it is expensive and non-scalable. Whereas the current edtech platforms that are there, the solutions, they just bombard them with a lot of content without personalization. So here we are building LearnIQ, AI tutor, who's designed to feel like human, scale like tech, and cost less than coffee. And it is something that is designed leveraging NLP, AI, agentic AI, and gamification to deliver personalized learning pathways. And the technology is something that is to be run on low data Android phones and to give multilingual support in accordance to what India represents. We are looking at a 3 billion online tutoring market in India with a SOM of 150 million. I'm going to skip the competitive landscape, and yes, go ahead.
So we'll do a quick demo. How do I show the YouTube thing here? What do I click?
Rahman?
Yeah.
Or, Tom? Jacob? Can you do the video?
Yeah, the link at the very bottom. This link, just click on this.
Way too complicated. Okay, describe it. We'll drop it in the post-production.
Okay, what I can do then is, alternatively, let me just do it on live then, even better.
Yeah.
All right, but you got 30 seconds.
Hello, I am Raj, your friendly AI agent. How can I help you today?
Hey Raj, I'm struggling with calculus. Can you help me with calculus?
So we have created an AI tutor.
So anyway, we'll skip this. So it's designed for affordable pricing and scalable growth. The business model is B2C subscription at the price about $249 per month for the students, which is less than 10 rupees a month, 10 rupees a day, which is the price of a coffee. The second is...
We have 4 questions. Let's do the 4 questions. You decide which ones you're going to answer. Go, Dave.
Okay, 3 years from today, how many users and what are they learning?
All right, that's one question. What was the other one right here? Go, Jason.
How do you intrigue interest using students using your app to study instead of going to TikTok or Instagram?
Okay, go.
What about differing learning styles, ADD, students with attention deficit?
Yeah.
How do you measure true understanding?
Okay, come on, hurry up.
I think I'll take that one, and I think you can take the other one. So this is something which is basically where the student have a need, and it's a need-based, and they will sort of access it as and when they need. It personalizes to their need, so it gives them personalized pathway. It's like a Fitbit. It will give them nudges, etc. So clearly, the use case there is that they are struggling and they need help, and they will come to this, and they will get this information.
Yeah. Answering to Dave, we are looking at around more than 100,000 students. We already have some of the signups in the stealth mode that we are trying to engage them, and while we are building the AI. The learning, ADD. Yeah, that is where the gamification is something that we are looking at, and quantifying real learning is something that we are working on with the experts to be able to have the right way to actually gauge what learning and what is the outcome going to mean like.
Great job. All right, so who cannot run a 550 mile? Raise your hand. Or 350 mile. 350 mile. Raise your hand. Okay, Norway guy, he did. Who's from Oman? Who's not from Oman? Okay, who's not from Rwanda? Okay, we got 3 continents here. Let's see what that adds up to. Bust a move, go.
Thank you, John. Hey, everyone. My name is Abdi, former professional athlete turned founder. And together with my team from Harvard and MIT, we have experience both from the startup and the corporate world. And we're solving one of the biggest inefficiencies in the education space. Imagine this. To complete a curriculum program for 1 grade, it takes, I think, about 3 to 24 months. And the reason for that is there's so many different teams involved in it. There's the internal team, the external team, the contractors, the consultants, the state standard alignment team. And at the end of the day, the final product still misses the mark. Why is that? As you can see on the screen, 61% of 50 million K-12 students are still below grade level in math. But we're solving for the inefficiencies in the outdated workflows that they have today in the publishing world. And that's about $15 billion, and I'll get to that soon. M7e changes all of that. We're an AI platform built on our proprietary Magnificent 7 framework that is built with more than 300 different research studies and also on-the-ground feedback that we're currently doing and research that we're currently doing. What it does is three steps in this phase 1 is you upload any content. It could be assessment, could be script, it could be any curriculum program that you're running. And we'll evaluate that for comprehension, we'll evaluate that for cognitive load, for rigor, and also for state standard alignment. So now we're doing the things that they did for months, we're doing that in minutes. And why us and why now? Well, first of all, the problem came to us from publishers that visit us at the Harvard Ed School. And the second thing is that AI is here, it's changing the whole ecosystem of the education space. And the reason why we're thinking the reason why we're attacking this problem is, instead of relying on bloated internal teams and external teams, why can you not use M7 that does it much faster with high precision and high quality? So in this phase we're right now is we're acting as AI strategists and helping the organizations, with the publishers with their curriculum. We're as you saw, we're revising their content and giving them a state-aligned version in minutes. And then the second phase and third phase will do more as in terms of platform as a service and tackling more expansions. Our team has experience both from operating, executing, shipping products, as well as our advisors who have built edtech companies and also exited and are part of the Harvard Ed School and also in the MIT ecosystem. as I said earlier, we've done market analysis. The inefficiencies in creating and publishing curriculums is more than $15 billion per year. And we have three customers, and we're already getting to almost $1 million in annual revenue.
You've asked 8 questions. Am I getting? No. But people. All right. The best part. All right, Beth.
That was the best part.
Okay, so you said it. All right, Beth. What's your?
Have you thought at all about reconciliation, looking at curricula that already exists? One of the big problems that publishers have is that they have to get adoption from individual states. How are you going to help them with that?
Okay, hold on. Before that, hear from Jason. He's also the president of the Alumni Association from Cornell grad students. You never know the networks that people are here.
Yeah, I'm getting selling ad tech is pretty hard. What I heard is that public school here have little money, and those Newton High School teachers go to like a bond, so how do you really go to market and generate revenue?
Yeah, so I'll do it in reverse order. So we're already generating revenue. We're working with 3 big publishers. So we're helping their outdated workflows internally, not student-facing. So we're not going that path. We're helping them to be more efficient instead of spending billions of dollars in creating curriculum. And yeah, we're working with them, Bet. I'll tell you more. So scan here, guys, if you want to work with us or have any conversations afterwards. Thank you.
Okay, great. So, all right. So now we have our last presentation. Of the 3 minutes, and then we have some lightning ones. I see the niece of someone that ran Lincoln Labs in the audience. I'm talking about you. Yeah. So this one is about politics and lobbying at a time when, boy, who has confidence in our political system, or who knows which way is up. This is a group that wants to be, figure out how to be part of the solution there, and I'm all for that. Okay, Danny from Harvard Business School. Sloan, the Sloan guy ran GM, and he's the one who said, let's do the cars in multiple colors, while Ford only did one color, and he gave the money for Sloan Business School. But let's see if Sloan and HBS get along.
We definitely get along. So guys, hi, I'm Danny, and I'm the CEO and founder of WIP. This is Allison. She's been working with me throughout the class. And let me tell you a bit about what we're doing. So we're digitally coding 535 politicians, all the members of the House of Representatives, and all the members of the House of the Senate. And what we're doing is embedding them with a database that simulates their personalities and giving them capabilities to stay up to date on everything from their public communications, social media, live streams, so you can directly interact with that agent and have a repository of their data at your fingertips. With that, you can also test messaging and get educational materials to do what exactly? Influence them. However, that's not all we're doing. We're also bringing each one of these agents into a platform that is able to simulate conversations between each other. So you're able to see and detect those interactions happening before they actually are happening in the Senate floor and so. Where are we taking this? To start with, we're taking it to lobbyists. Allison and I have spoken to a bunch of them, and my God, they hate what they do except actual lobbying. And that kind of grunt work, the intelligence gathering, the messaging synthesis, the getting the educational materials, we're gonna automate all of that with AI while also providing a smart solution so that they know how to influence. This is our beach market, and we will expand to policy advocacy as a whole of an industry later on. So just to recap real quick, each lawmaker becomes their own dynamic agent. They can automatically recommend strategies on how to best influence that person, curate educational materials, actually speak to the digital agent of that politician as if it was them themselves, and finally simulate the debates and conversations happening between each other before they take it to the actual floor. This is our business model. We're planning on targeting 3 types of lobbyists to begin with: nonprofits, standalone lobbying firms, and enterprise lobbying in-house teams. And we see a huge market that, thanks to our political climate, it only keeps growing and getting more and more important. Everyone wants a piece on how to influence Washington.
Yeah, so lobbying is a pretty white space market when it comes to AI disruption. We believe that our company, WIP, actually optimizes, is the only player that optimizes both on automation of intelligence, but also provides policy intelligence depth compared to some of the other players in the market.
And I'm really excited to announce that right now we have 2 pilot customers. They are both standalone lobbyist firms, but we want to get some of those nonprofit and enterprise lobbyists to join the team. So if you know somebody in that space that would be interested in becoming one of the 3 spots I have open for my design partnership cohort. Please come talk to me.
Yeah, we fully believe in democratizing access to representatives. So, let's use technology to shift this industry to a more fair, democratized space.
Great. Okay. So I am really sorry, but that was our 20-second, 3-minute presentation. This is the last one. Let's see, judges, any questions? Okay, we got one over here, Dave, and we'll get you. Okay, and let's get all 3 questions first.
How do you ensure that an agent stays current with a politician's view of the day?
How many lobbyists are there, and how big is the industry?
Great. Go. X-Fund, go.
How specifically are you differentiating from quorum and plural?
Yeah, definitely. So to start with, they have line graphs capability, so these agents are able to go out and scrape live information 24/7, everything from their social medias, public communications on the instant, refresh daily. How many lobbyists are there in the industry? There's right now 14,000 registered lobbyists. It's a market in itself of $4.4 billion in just expenditures. And my final question was, how do I differentiate against quorum? Well, they don't have the agentic capabilities that we're building, nor the architecture and technical mode. If you want to learn more, please come talk to me, scan this QR code, send me an email. I am opening the fundraising round in a week and a half, and we're raising $2 million. Thank you.
Yep, and remember, there's a cooling off period, but after that, if you want to invest in any of these 22, there's an opportunity. I also want to point out, you never know who's in the room. You have a $40 billion revenue company head, C-suite, but I also want to point out one of my heroes. She's done more for digital health than I think anyone I know. She's one of the key architects of the Media Lab, Roz Picard. Roz, can you just show off something about what the hell you do here?
Hey, John, I was just going to grab my lunch, and he pulled me aside. Hi.
Hey, Ramesh, can you do an interpretive dance as to what she says?
Ramesh, welcome to the MIT Media Lab. Rosalind Picard, I'm one of the faculty here, started the work in giving computers skills of emotional intelligence, and also we in the Media Lab pioneered the first wearables that could monitor physiology. So now I'm a co-founder of Empatica that makes the first FDA-cleared smartwatch, and we do a lot of research with partner companies and entrepreneurs to help build better digital health for everybody. Thanks.
Yep, and she rocks. Thank you, Roz. All right, so we have only two startups in case, we left one somewhere else. And, whatever. I was going to try to be funny, but I'm not. All right, go. You got 1 minute.
We are 2 Harvard physicians, and every day we see that hospitals are burdened. Costs are rising, patient outcomes are getting worse, and the healthcare system is constantly under big challenges. This needs transformative solutions. We need a revolutionary change. Today we heard about the power of agentic AI. What we introduced today is the first healthcare agentic AI app store built specifically for hospitals. We create multiple use cases, a multi-agent system, so your hospital can be agentic. Imagine this, you walk into the hospital, medical errors no longer happen because the agent catches that error. You walk into a hospital and your physician is not burned out because administrative work is optimized. Arash here has a demo that he'll show you right at that booth over here, and we're trying to transform healthcare boldly. We're 2 physicians with AI and ML background.
They don't get questions. Go. Need the clicker. We need the clicker. Clicker.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jacob Burke. We are CustomPod. CustomPod is an AI-powered platform that delivers short, personalized daily news podcasts tailored just for you. Meet Jeff. Jeff is listening to the news that he cares about, curated from the top news sources with state-of-the-art AI voice technology. It is hands-free, it is on the go, and it is built just for him. Let's take a look at how it works. Jeff can create a new podcast series. Let's call it Tech and Health. He can add news sources that he's interested in, even connected to things like Slack, Reddit, and weather. You can generate a podcast, which will generate automatically from here on out, see the news stories in the podcast, and then give it a listen.
Hey there, Jacob.
Welcome to your custom pod for May 7th, 2025.
We have traction. We have over 50 daily active users with an 84% 7-day retention rate. All the growth has been organic to date, and we have reached 11 countries. Best of all, we don't have 8 paying customers. As of yesterday, we have 9 paying customers on our monthly premium plan. This is our team. We are small, scrappy tech background, and thank you very much. We're live.
Okay, last one. Do you have a video? Yeah. You play it? Tom, you got it? Okay, play.
Millions of young people are turning to AI for guidance. Over 100 million paying users spend $14 billion annually on fortune-telling services. Fortune-telling has always been a ritual. Now, it's a digital one. Introducing Destiny Quest, a digital ritual platform for the AI-native generation. We combine AI-driven fortune-telling with Destiny analysis to create a scalable, engaging, and monetizable self-exploration platform. Ancient tools, trusted for centuries. All digitized, all reborn for a new generation. Destiny Quest offers clarity and direction. Destiny Quest begins with personalized data input. Your emotional tone, birth details, and areas of concern all shape the experience. You can start your journey from 3 distinct entry points, depending on your personal belief system or curiosity. If you choose Zodiac, you'll enter your birth date and sun sign to unlock daily emotional rhythms and cosmic guidance. If you choose Botsy, you'll input your full birth time and date to receive a Chinese metaphysical life reading, including elemental balance, career windows, and personal cycles. If you choose Tarot, you'll begin by drawing cards. Each card symbolism is interpreted by AI based on your current state and your question, revealing hidden insights and possible paths ahead. After analysis, our AI offers chat-based guidance. Start for free, then continue deeper with premium insights.
All right,
and
Tom,
rituals.
turn it off.
All
They've
insights are
exceeded their
delivered through a
time limit.
conversational
All right,
AI
so this is the team. They have nothing to say. Harvard Design students from Macau, all from near Beijing. Can you bow? Bow, or wave to everyone. Wave. All right, get off the stage, get off the stage. All right, so I also want to just remind people that Minsky and McCarthy termed the word AI in 1955 to write a grant to take people up to Dartmouth to kind of brainstorm what this cybernetics movement was. Minsky was a neighbor of mine. I asked him, why did he call it AI? And he said, I could have called it BI, but I thought the government would fund me. And there you go. His office was in this building. But I also want to point out that Ada Lovelace, long before started software around the time of Darwin. I also have an MIT yearbook that's 100 years old. You guys should flip through it because it reminds you that MIT was a reaction to the Industrial Revolution. And today, AI, there's an opportunity to react to that. And then finally, my 2 favorite props is the Newton. It was a total disaster. The software that was made couldn't figure out your handwriting, and it was the end of John Scully, who pushed out Steve Jobs. But we are in such early days of AI, and you all can help facilitate to move it forward. And then my last prop, the communicator Starship Enterprise. It is 250 years in the future that Kirk ran the Enterprise. Today, we're just celebrating 250 for the American Revolution. And what's the next 250 going to be like? And AI is probably going to be part of it. And you all can help facilitate that. Thank you for participating today. Ramesh, come on down. And in a moment, I want to get all the judges up here because we'll do a group photo. But were you underwhelmed or were you impressed? How are you doing?
Yeah.
Are you emotional?
It's such a bummer. I thought it's going to be a good show, but yeah. By the way, the last team, if you can bring the clicker back to us.
Yeah.
Excellent.
Yeah, go back to the slides, Tom.
Go to the first slide. All right, good. That's good. All right, what a show. All right, let's first of all thank John Werner. Among many talents he has. Also want to thank our team here, Nikhil, Taleb, of course Susan, McLean, just unbelievable. There are about 20 people behind the scenes working for this throughout the semester. Just imagine that, completely pro bono, to help us this course going. It's an experience, it's a movement, and so on. So we want. The demo day is December 12th. Mark it now. We want all the judges to pass your scoring sheets all the way to Nikhil. If you can just pass it to the next person, it'll reach there. Just make sure none of the students. Make sure students don't intercept your scores. They're really smart MIT and Harvard students. And then in about 15 minutes, we will kind of flash, the gold medal winners of these things. Of course, all 24 are amazing, as you saw. It's mind-blowing. I think when I was in grad school, we would just type away stuff on our screens, hoping to write some papers. But here they are talking about millions of dollars, serving billions of, gigascale impact. So
yeah, you talk about having impact, that it's not enough to rip off Angry Birds, that you got to have impact, and that's kind of core to our class.
Yeah, I think the impact is very critical. I think the world GDP is in $100 trillion, but often you will see projects that are very focused on very narrow areas. How to make product managers slightly more efficient, how to get coders to write their code more efficiently, which is great as well, but who's going to solve agriculture? Who's going to solve health? Who's going to solve transportation? Who's going to solve, the return economy? These are massive opportunities, and we try really hard to expose our students and teams to new ideas on campus.
So Ramesh, are you a techno-optimist or a techno-pessimist? Where are you on the continuum?
Yeah, I'm all the way out here. I'm a techno-optimist.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think any problems that technology creates can be solved only with one possible solution: more technology.
Okay, all right, there you go. I also want to identify, I see Chris Pease and Shantanu. I know
Yes.
Caleb's in the room. Could everyone who was a mentor, Dave right here, Dave, Rahman, anyone who helped with the class.
Come on up.
These students, they didn't just show up on the last day. There was a process.
Here every day.
Beth, are you still
helping
here?
us. Beth is here. Some of our mentors
Brian.
are here.
So if you were a mentor, come on down. Yep.
And they showed up to almost every class, helping this move forward.
Yep. And if you hosted a social, raise your hand. I know
we had
Mitsubishi hosted. HBS hosted a social. Yep. We hosted it on the land that Andrew Carnegie bought to put MIT, but MIT didn't end up going there, and that's why your business school is there. Okay. So Ramesh, closing statement, and then let's get all the judges up here.
Yeah. I think it's very critical, especially for us mentors and people with gray hair, to realize where the world is today. And I think Arthur C. Clarke said, if a senior person tells a junior person something can be done, there's a good chance it can be done. But when a senior person tells a junior person it cannot be done, there's a very good chance it still can be done. Right? And that's the world we live in today. And the third one, of course, is any advanced form of technology is indistinguishable from magic. And I think we saw magic today. I'm deeply honored and deeply humbled of where we are going.
Let me ask, Dave, what are some trends you saw from some of the presentations? You've founded like 27 companies. You've seen it all, the good, the bad, the ugly.
23. Yeah, if I can add one piece of value in the old person category, what you see here in these companies is back-to-back AI-driven plans that are multi-billion-dollar, up to trillion-dollar opportunities. And in the 5 years I've been doing this, if you go back 4 or 5 years ago, that was not true. And I haven't seen anything like the AI tailwind in my life. And the only thing that's even comparable is when I graduated from MIT, the internet was brand new to the world, and it was growing like crazy. And every team that I saw that had technical skill coming out of MIT, they all succeeded. But you get these long stretches of time where there isn't that kind of massive tailwind going on. And the companies still did fine. We've had some great graduates from this class do very well. But now I feel like every single team is onto a can't-miss kind of world-changing mission. Makes it very, very hard to judge now compared to past years because they're all such great ideas. And so part of that is just the fact that the talent pool trying to get in the class gets bigger and bigger and bigger every year. And so it's a tighter filter, so you get great people in the class. But a just as big, if not bigger part, is this AI tailwind is the most leveraged time I've ever seen in my life. So
Becca got her undergrad degree at Berkeley, PhD at MIT. She ran the MIT Club of Boston. She's now secretly running MIT's Harvard Innovation Lab. MIT, she doesn't know it, but she's a sleeper agent there. But she's the director of the, big managing director of the Harvard Innovation Lab. Did you like what you saw today? What did you see?
I love what I heard today, and I'm also very excited to see the collaboration between MIT and Harvard teams. Amazing. I counted it was 2/3 of the team, so love to see more collaboration. This is a great ecosystem. Thanks to all of you guys here. So let's go and get more done. So excited.
All right. So is Brendan here? Where's Brendan? Yeah, Brendan, where's the camera with the stick? Can we get someone to do a group photo of this? Yeah.
Okay, hi everybody. I'm Rana El-Kayoubi. I spun out of the Media Lab a number of years ago, sold my company Affectiva. Ross Picard was my co-founder and advisor. We are launching a new venture called Blue Tulip Ventures. We invest in early stage human-centered AI startups. So talk to us.
Okay, so here, Brendan, go in the center over there. Yeah, thanks. And Kent is a judge and also doubling with taking a photo. Thanks. All right, no gang signs, everyone.
Yeah, ventures, everyone.
All right, on 3, AI Ventures. 1, 2, 3.
AI Ventures.
All right, everyone in the room. 1, 2, 3.
AI Ventures.
All right, great. All right, thank you. Yeah, no, thank you. And again, if you see the guy with violet hair, get out of his way. He wants to go to every single table. There are 22 tables. Are they going to win in New York twice? But it's not that they look good, it's that we look... He hasn't said anything about it.
Who's that guy?
Yeah.
So I think I agree with you, but I don't think you should shoot this in like. Yeah, no, somebody did not hand it over. I was sitting in the line of judges. That's a good smile.
So judges, we took all your bags and sold them on eBay. They were originally in that room. Actually, no, Susan has them in 393. She's in the flower shirt if you need them. Alex Wisner-Gross, no. But I can get him on the phone. Here. Can you give it to them? Or do you want me to hold on to it? Okay, thank you. Hey, Stephen. How long have you been? So I guess you know, I don't know if this is any reason, but Dina is putting money behind it and wrote something about it. You know, like I said, I get the feeling this could go either way. Yeah. But is this something that we should take seriously, or I mean, it's one of those things where if you get regional as a hospital, so we should wait to see if it gets. Is it investable? I don't know. He Ramesh said to me that he would be willing to be a venture partner for us if you went on. I guess that you want to be very strategic about that. We should be. Oh, I'm also going out to Silicon Valley this week. So Jensen's definitely coming to September 9th. So I'm going to use next week to lock up. So I'm going to be interviewing co-founders of Cerebras. They are super in the Silicon
Yeah, because they're backed by G42. They'll be the next IPO. Because they did really well. The CoreWeave IPO turned out really good. So Cerebras is their next IPO. Actually, I really want to meet them.
Do you want to come to the event?
Yeah.
So basically, so this is what they want me to do with it. So it's about 1,500 people. So they're flying me out to interview. And so I control the narrative. And it's there, 1,500 people at the nicest venue.
What are Cerebras' co-founders? What does that mean? They have a venture fund?
I mean, it's their CEO. I think it's their it's like Daniela and Alexander Rini. But so this is good for us.
Very good. So that's next week?
Yeah. But I'm going out. I'm going to go meet whatever. I'm going to go Stanford Highlight and say, what panels can you deliver? I'm going to go meet with NVIDIA. I haven't, so let me get through this. Basically, anyone that you met with, or you're trying to do something, I can go, hey, do you want to have a privilege so I can change your relationship that you have? So can you, so I'll fly out on Tuesday. Let me see. Hey, can you go? And this is wide angle. Here, put that. I'll put it on all down. You're going to do a TED Talk next week. Or May.
Who's the last? People don't like that. But in the graves, they will.
It's your class. So you do but you can say these are the 5 minutes. I said I was going to come talk to you. So just do a whole slide. Sure, but I can go either way. I just think if you do roll, it gives So I talked to him. I'm gonna say. Okay. Hi, everyone. Where is our friend who claimed he was going to go to every booth? Where's the guy with violet hair? Here. Hey, how many? Ask him, have you made it to all 22 tables yet? All? You've done it? Okay. All right. Can I have all the startup teams for a group photo right under this screen right now? Everyone come here. Leave your stuff. Group photo. And we're also going to announce the gold and platinum. Morgan, where are you? Here, come here. Okay, all you Harvard people who are yapping, get over here. I'm a Harvard alum, so I get it. Can you take a few photos? And this is Zoom. Here, do that one. No, but this one's more nuanced. All right, if you are part of, Joyce, come on, get down here. If you are part of one of these teams, yeah, move the table. Just do once, and it does it. Yeah, it does 9 photos. You just push this, and it does 9. Okay, all right. So move the table, guys. Here, who wants to take photos with this camera? Right. And you can move this darker and lighter. It doesn't have one photo. Okay, all right, hold on. Here, move the table. Someone get the other side. It's physics. Ramesh, get in the photo. Move the chairs. All right, and for every founder, you need to post this and say that you were part of this class, okay? Have you heard of social media? Go nuts on this. All right, now, okay, so look at so Davey has a camera. Is the green light going? Does anyone see the green light? Yeah, now hold it up higher. Hold it up higher. Higher, Davey. No, but it'll look better higher. Yeah. All right, it stopped. Push it again. Right, you're doing great, Davey. Yeah. All right, hold, wrong angle. A little higher. A little bit higher. Yeah, okay. Do it again. It stopped. Yeah. All right, here. Okay, all right, okay. All right, and Davey, maybe zoom in a little bit more. Okay, so ladies and gentlemen, this is our cohort. I have to say, one, it's the most talented group of teams, partly because the world is in a different place, not because they're brilliant, but also because, Ramesh, you're a talent magnet for brilliant. I want to say that there were 3 levels that we evaluated what the judges said. This is kind of like the Oscars. You know, we don't want people to lobby or pay off the judges. That's why we had so many, so the teams couldn't do that. Not that we were worried about that. I'm trying to be funny. Yeah, Nikhil. All right, Nikhil. So, Nikhil, can you hit the slide? Do it in advance. All right, so these are the gold. So Skipley, so these are a third of them, and this is the gold. So if you are a millennial and you want to say you got gold, you can, okay? This is the gold, all right? It doesn't mean the others are not good. It just means this is who got gold. Now hit it again, please. This is the platinum. So if you aggregated, it went up. And then if you're not circled, this means you're silver. Doesn't mean you're bad. It just means you didn't get all the points. So you could say you were platinum, gold, or silver on your social media and use this to raise money. And Dave, what's the Ramesh, what's the blackout period? When can people start? So in 7 days, you can go nuts. To those who are in the room who want to invest, and for those who are trying to raise money. And it doesn't mean we think you know, we love you all. Everyone's great. You all are winners. All right, thank you very much.